Hello, everyone, and welcome to the VoxWork podcast. I am one of your hosts, Asmogan, and these are my co-hosts.
I'm Nathan at 2000. Thank you for having me on again. It is a pleasure to be with you, gentlemen.
And I'm Nicho40K. Always a pleasure to be among friends.
Indeed. I love these two gentlemen, and today we have prepared 3 topics for you, and we will be ending this podcast with also showcasing to you all our first fan art, which you are perfectly welcome to submit to us on either, I have Twitter, so you could just @ me on Twitter if that's where you'd prefer. I'm also on Discord. There's Instagram. There's several places you guys can share fan art if you guys are interested or working on that kind of stuff. And if you would also like to ask community questions, feel free to ask those in the YouTube comments below. Just simply say Q&A question and then obviously fill in your question, and we'll put that at the end of episodes, which we actually have a few today as well. That being said, we're going to get into our 3 primary topics before we get into those. So let's start off with our first topic. And I'm bringing this to the table. Each of us chose a topic today, kind of out of our own hat brains. And mine is favorite and least favorite Primarch and why.
Yes. I mean, this one's an obvious one for me because recently my video got uploaded. But who wants to go first?
I can, if you guys would like.
I mean, yeah, sure. I mean, it's your topic. I think you should go first.
I think I already know Asmo's too, because I've been watching his lore videos for ages. So
All right. Let me crack my knuckles here.
Yes.
Favorite Primarch? Dorn. Rogal
Hey, what a
Dorn.
surprise. You could have seen that coming. Way.
Rogal Dorn of the Imperial Fists. Yes. To not try and drag it out too much, because trust me, everyone has heard me rant about both sides of this coin. I absolutely love Rogal Dorn. He is a stern, hardy man and stalwart in the face of overwhelming odds. He is the picturesque human, or I guess semi-human demigod being. He is the summation of a wall. He is a wall. He is a living defense master, and his personality matches. I absolutely love Dorn. I think he gets a lot of bad rap from a lot of people who aren't willing to actually look into his lore and tend to just write him off as kind of like a discount guilliman, which enrages me. He's my favorite Primarch, easily. He's the smartest in my opinion. Yes, even over Guilliman, you fucking blueberry fanboy bitches. he is better than Guilliman and smarter than him. He is better than fucking Horus when it comes to actually holding a position rather than trying to take it. He is better than pretty much every Primarch I could list off for multiple categories. He's got the best personality. He's the least bitchy. And he's the truest to the God Emperor and to mankind and to the Imperium. Fucking love him. Absolutely God tier. Reminds me of my dad. Fantastic.
An absolute Chad.
Least favorite. Guilliman. Girly man. McGilligro. McGillicuddy. The fucking bitch.
Rowboat.
Oh, let's get it.
I fucking hate Guilliman. Guilliman is a cunt. He is a terrible, disgusting person. He is a politician. So people like to say, "Oh, he's the diplomat." No, he's not a diplomat. Kiss my ass. He is a politician. He is the politician Primarch. I'll give you that. In every sense that we hate politicians. He's sneaky. He's plotting. He's conniving. He's perfectly willing to throw away the entire Imperium at the drop of a hat without confirmation. The guy is a cunt. And I hate him most of all for all of those traits, for being an absolute self-absorbed dickwad. But I hate him most of all because of what he did to Dorn at the end of after the Horus Heresy, imposing himself as the new head honcho of the Imperium, plopping his ass on the throne of Terra, which he had no fucking right to. And before that even happened, he already instigated Imperial Secundus, which was treason. He already committed treason once. But if that wasn't bad enough, he plopped his fat ass on the throne he had absolutely zero fucking right to. He spat in the face of the man who was designated as the next in line by the Emperor him fucking self. That being Dorn, who is labeled the Praetorian of Terra. who actually defended the Imperium, defended the entirety of its territories and peoples, not single-handedly, but almost single-fucking-handedly, and was the key reason the Imperium did not fall the moment Horus instigated the heresy. That man, that legion, not only did he betray, but he nearly caused them to have to martyr themselves because he tried to force them to break apart and submit to his rule and his will like any fucking tyrant. He's a disgusting piece of filth, and in the purest sense, he is a politician. Out for himself, out for his own interests, and couldn't give a damn about anybody else. Fuck anybody who thinks otherwise. The Lord backs me up on this for what he did to Dorn. Kiss my ass whatever the new books have to say about how his internal fucking depression and bullshit. Fuck him. Everything is his fault. And the fact that the Lion hasn't bitch slapped his ass yet showcases that the modern writers don't know a damn thing about the fucking lore, don't know a damn thing about the characters that they've adopted upon. Fuck that, and fuck trying to make him a sympathetic character that's even remotely likable, because he's fucking not. I will not forget what he did to Dorn. I will not forget the Imperial Secundus. I will not forget the traitor, the true treasonous traitor, Guilliman.
I just
Fuck
I
him.
just love the fact that you had this ready. Fucking hell.
I have reiterated this a
Oh.
dozen times.
Yeah,
Oh yeah.
yeah. I was gonna say, like, as somebody who's like been with Asmo for like a long ass time with this channel, like this man has reiterated these points over and over and over again. I think he permanently has this rant in his head, like ready 24/7. Should anybody ask him the question?
Oh, yeah, and you fucking blueberry bitch boys who suck Gilliman's fat cock.
Nicho,
Yeah.
can you hear that?
Yeah.
I think I just heard the footsteps and the door closing, and all the Ultramarine fans that used to listen to this podcast.
Good.
They're all gone now.
Fuck off. Don't come back.
Oh. Jeez.
Well,
Oh, I don't know if I can even compare. Jeez. That was quite the rant.
That's not
Nathan, you
even
wanna go
half of it. That's the summary version.
Oh,
yeah.
that's the summary. Oh. Dude, you know what? I swear, you have to write a book down on why Guilliman is awful. It'll be
I
like
have.
100 pages.
I have.
Oh, you have?
I have written it down in several comment sections and forums across the internet.
Dude. It's like, you have to make the sacred text. Like, this
Actually,
will be the Bible.
I don't know if you guys know this. Just a small tangent, but I was banned from the 40k Reddit
What? Really?
because
Getting banned from a Reddit should be like a badge of honor.
it is a badge of honor. Because I was banned because of this very rant. I left a huge dissertation on the 40k subreddit and r/40k about Guilliman being a treasonous pig dog that deserves to die horribly, and the fact that the books keep trying to make him this sympathetic, likable character is fucking pathetic. But I went on a dissertation about everything he did to Dorn, Imperial Secundus, all the treason that this man, if you want to call him that, fucking bitch boy is what I call him, this man did to the Imperial. I fucking have this written down, and I put it out there, and the mods deleted the post, contacted me and told me that they were temporarily banning me. I told them to go fuck themselves, and then they banned me, like permanently.
Oh.
So I'm no longer on the
Nice.
40k or subreddit.
Nice.
They deleted my fucking post. That's what made me mad.
Fucking hell.
TMD, total mod death. Reddit mods are like
Dude, this has-
Reddit mods to me are like corporate journalists, like journalists.
I just
Like,
love the
just
idea, though.
No sympathy.
I just kind of love the idea, though. Like, it's like the Bible to purify away the blueberry fanboys. It's like he just quotes from his own personal rant. It's like, you motherfuckers, you're supporting a traitor.
Yeah, he
Be
goes around like a
gone,
preacher.
blueberries.
Yeah, he just goes around with a preacher with a book with just like rants about Guilliman written down, and he just shouts it from the rooftops of like his local games workshop.
Yes.
I will stand on a rooftop and preach this shit wearing a priest uniform. I will wear that robe.
People come
Nice.
like people come out with Drukhari, Eldar, and demon armies, and he just pays them no mind. Asmogan just sees a shade of fucking blue, and he goes off.
Grabs
Just
your
starts, just starts,
sledgehammer.
like just starts pointing at him, going, "You filthy fucking heathen! You support Rowboat, you bastard!
Robot girly.
Remember what he did to Dorn?
McGillicuddy fuckhead.
Never forget.
He fucks Eldars."
I hate Mr. Blueberry so fucking much. I hate his ass.
Mm.
All right. Nico, or Nathan, what
Oh.
one of you favorite and least favorite Primarch?
Nico, do you want to go first?
Sure. So, ironically, I already said in the video that my favorite loyalist Primarch is definitely rogal Dorn. I mean, it's just like there's no way. It's like it has to be rogal Dorn, the bro, the big bro, the absolute Chad. But if I had to go, like, if I'm counting all the Primarchs, the one that I find the most interesting is Conrad Curse. If only because it's kind of just the easy, just evil Batman. I do kind of like that about him. It's just I love his aesthetic. I love the fact that he tried to bring order to Nostromo, even though that involved massive amounts of torture and shit like that. But yeah, I mean, it's like I imagine God, if that was every day, I wonder what Christmas would bring. Just
We
like
wish you a merry entrails. We wish you a merry entrails and a happy decapitation.
Oh my god, dude! Can you imagine Conrad Kurtz in like a Santa outfit? He just goes to all the children, and it's just like the head of their pets, just like in a Christmas box.
Deck the halls with large intestines. Fa la 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 la.
Oh yeah, absolutely, and yeah, and his fall is just as tragic, but it was inevitable. Quite the crazy cookie.
Mm.
If I had to say, the least favorite, I guess Jagathai Khan, because I just don't know that much about him. I could say Ferris Manus, but he's just the thing is him and the Iron Hands are just so forgettable that I just don't really feel like commenting on them. But the White Scars, I don't know. I've never been interested in anything Mongol. I mean, I do think it's kind of funny that they're all about speed and stuff like that. But oh boy, I mean, if they're dreadnoughts or anything to go by, that's just torture.
Allow me to have a white blonde bitch moment where I say I could fix him with you and with that and send you several songs from the Who.
Okay.
I will fix your not necessarily dislike, but your ambivalency to Mongolians.
I mean, I do kind of like their throat singing, but I'm not really that interested in their history, like in the actual history. So seeing Space Marines and Mongolians, it's like, eh. I mean, that's the thing. I don't know if I have a least favorite that much. It's just more so who I'm less interested in. Outside of maybe, obviously, okay, because you went on a ginormous rant about Rabute Guilliman, right? Obviously, I don't like him because he's an absolute cunt. But I can't compare to that rant. That was perfection.
I gotta send you my full length rant.
The Who, nice. Yeah, some good stuff. But yeah, Nathan, what about you? What are your favorite and least favorite Primarchs?
So, I'm gonna go with a basic bitch safe option, and for favorite, I'm gonna say Sanguinius.
Yeah.
Like I am very much interested in biblical culture and references. So obviously, if you've got some big angelic boy on Terra who's like helping Dawn with his final stand, like
It's
giving
actually
his he gave a few good speeches in the Horus Heresy series as well, which I did actually like. There's a few very good narrations on YouTube, so I asked people to look them up because they're really good.
It's actually funny
Yeah.
that you mentioned the Bible because I recently bought one because I've never read the whole thing through, and it's like, why not? But yeah, right. Yeah.
Um, yeah, yeah. So
Yeah.
like, I like Sanguinius' aesthetic as well as the fact that he's very loyal to the Emperor. You know, even once asked the Emperor, because he knew all of his, well, at least some of his sons were like loyal, but none of them had ever asked the question, "What if I refuse?" And the Emperor's
Mhm.
like, "We both know you're not gonna do that." And Sanguinius is like, "Yeah, I know, but I thought I'd ask." You know, like the aesthetic of this saving angel, like amongst space marines, like amongst demigods, there is someone even taller that's just built of pure honor, a fine swordsman, and an
Oh yeah.
absolute threat to anybody that thinks chaos is a valuable leader. I just love saying. I just think he's perfect.
Oh yeah. I love that Sanguinius. I love the. This actually was
Which is
a
ironic
bit
considering
with
Fulgrim was the one who wanted to be perfect.
yeah.
Yeah,
But yeah, I love the bit where there was a bit. There was I think it was the Baltimore video on Rogal
Voldemort.
Dorn, where yes, Baltimore, the great
Baltimore.
guy.
But
I do
they
I do
call it
love
fucking Baltimore then.
Baltimore. Yeah,
Someone should absolutely make that YouTube channel now. It's just like a parody account of Voldemort. It's just Baltimort.
Yeah.
yes, yeah. But yeah, it was the video where basically Rogal Dorn is watching Sanguinius defend. I think it was the Eternity Gate, or I might be completely wrong. But he's seeing his brother fighting off against the army, and Rogal Dorn is just like, get out of there, brother. But he has to think it because if his sons see him, doubting, it'll spread to the rest of the faction. I'm just like, oh,
Yeah.
he cares about his brother, man.
Oh yeah, I know what you're talking about. Yeah, I think it's necessary viewing for everybody who doesn't know anything about, which would pretty much be every Imperial Fist fan because they only care about Guilliman. Sorry. So if you actually want to learn about a really cool, good Primarch, check out Voldemort's The Longest Second, which is like several parts.
Oh yeah.
It's
Oh
fantastic.
yeah.
It really shows you why Dorn is such an amazing character.
It hits hard. And Sanguinius, man. Did
Mhm.
he? Okay. Did Sanguinius at least go out like a badass in the book? Because I don't know.
Sanguinius.
Traditional lore, or are you talking about the retcon stuff?
I mean, the retcon stuff.
Yeah. Because I was gonna say traditional law, like Chorus kills him. Like,
I'm gonna refrain from saying. Sorry.
Okay. All right. Sorry, I didn't mean to hijack your topic, Nathan. Sorry.
on that, I was gonna say, like, do you not remember that very, very iconic picture of the Emperor and Horus? Then you've got Sanguinius just absolutely fucking toasted on the floor.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I know. It's
With that
I just
goobered fucking hung off a Borgar fucking TTS
I mean,
face.
in the traditional lore, it's always been because again, I don't want to talk about the retcon stuff because again, I need to read back through it one more time before I start making public opinions about it. I will say I stand by that I hate the retcons, but specificity, I'm gonna save that for make sure I cross all my T's, dot all my I's before I make any public statements. That being said, in regards to the traditional lore of Sanguinius's fall, yeah, he's absolutely badass. Like, absolutely went out a badass way. You can't go out in a more badass way than how Sanguinius went out, because especially when you factor in, it's commonly believed, though unconfirmed, that Sanguinius had the power of precognition. He could see the future, not like he couldn't control it. Like he couldn't see like if you asked him, "Hey, what's gonna happen with the Super Bowl in 2014 or some shit?" Obviously, joke question, but regard like he couldn't like see specificity. Like he could see generic things, and he couldn't control when he saw what. But it was commonly believed he had a level of precognition. It's also commonly believed that, if you believe that theory, that he also went into his fight with Horus knowing how he was going to die, knowing that he was not going to beat him. Despite knowing he wasn't going to beat him, he still fought him anyway for the principle.
Yeah.
He's like, I know I'm going to die doing this. Doesn't matter. Needs to be done.
Exactly. Absolute chief.
Yeah, and then there's like two interpretations with kind of a result of the fight. It's commonly believed. I can't remember if it's confirmed. It might be confirmed. But during their fight, Sanguinius did everything he could, not necessarily to kill Horus because he knew he wasn't going to, but he was trying to weaken him. So he chinked his armor. And in the traditional lore, when the Emperor blasts Horus with his psychic powers, he's able to actually land and breach through him due to a wound slash not necessarily injury, but a breach in Horus's armor that Sanguinius made before he died. Like a single strike, he was able to land on Horus to weaken him. So that's the combination of belief and the actual canon lore that I know definitively is that Sanguinius went in, fought him to the best of his ability, lost, but did successfully land a few blows on Horus, which from that you can easily say he weakened him to a point where the Emperor could more easily beat him, even though the Emperor could already have easily beaten him. So
Yeah. So, anything else, Nathan? Or sorry.
No, that was mainly the reasons why I like Sanguinius. Like I said, the aesthetic, his values, his position, and his role within the Horus Heresy. You know, everything he did. You know, I just generally like the dude. He's a good standing dude, and he's not a fucking traitor. Even though technically, wasn't he half of Imperium Secundus? Because it was him and Guilliman.
it was not. This is where a bit of confusion happens. So the one who called for Imperial Secundus was Guilliman.
Wasn't that Guilliman?
Guilliman called for it. Sanguinius was the one he named the new emperor. Now, Sanguinius didn't do a lot to oppose him about it, but he...
Yeah, that's kind of what I say half and half, because Guilliman sets it up, but Sanguinius didn't exactly go, no, that's heresy. He's like, whatever, we'll see what happens.
To his credit, though, the moment Sanguinius knew there was a fight to be had on Terra, he went. Guilliman dragged ass.
Oh, yeah, he did.
Yeah.
Again, McGillicuddy can go fuck himself. Anyway.
Yeah. So, least favorite Primarch. I'd say my least favorite because I do like all the Primarchs because they do have interesting shit behind them. But my least favorite would be for that exact reason, and it would be Ferrus Manus because we don't know fucking anything about him.
Yeah. I feel bad for Ferrus. Ferrus got done dirty. Because at least Angron had a beginning, middle, and end. But yeah, Ferrus, what do we know about Ferrus? He was loyal, extremely so, to the Emperor. He was best buds, like as close as brothers could be amongst the Primarchs with Fulgrim. And he had liquid metal hands.
Oh, and he gets decapitated.
Yeah, so that's less of a personality trait, though. I don't think like your head getting cut off is a personality thing, or a feature of your character.
I mean, everyone knows that Ferrus Manus does get his head chopped off by Fulgrim. Everyone knows that. It's just that that's kind of just it. It's like, oh, then he dies. And what about the Iron Hands? It's like, oh, they're gonna be almost completely ignored. Yeah, I don't know. It's just.
I was gonna say it's had a bit of a domino effect as well because I feel like out of every single mentioned Space Marine Legion, people bring up the Imperial Fists, rightfully so. People bring up the Blood Angels, rightfully so. People bring up the Ultramarines, rightfully so. They are very they are prevalent within the lore. Heavily, you can't deny that.
Yeah, I could deny with validity. I could deny with quality. I won't deny with quantity.
On a technicality, they are in the lore. Like people bring them up for a reason. I'm not saying whether good or bad, but they bring them up.
Sure.
When the fuck do you remember anybody ever bringing up the Iron Warriors?
Once.
That's right, the Iron Hands.
I do got one story with like someone bringing that up.
Oh, sorry. Oh, yeah, right. Okay, right. That's what it's fucking doing to me, right? I keep getting mixed up with fucking Perturabo's Iron Warriors, the Iron fucking Hands.
I
When was
know
the
what you
last time
meant. I know what you
yeah,
meant.
exactly. Anybody that brings up the Iron Hand, when the fuck was the last time you remembered anybody bringing up the Iron Hands for any reason?
Once, and that's what I was referring to. I knew what you meant, so I was responding to
Yeah.
like the Iron Hands. There's actually a guy at my local LGS, and he's normally a Drukhari player. I already feel bad about that because Drukhari.
Yes.
But he's
Mhm.
normally a Drukhari player, but he like most people, he started out with Space Marines, and Space Marines are his favorite faction. He plays Drukhari because he actually likes to win, and uh, he went to one of his tournaments with his favorite army, his favorite collection, which is not as optimal, which is his Iron Hands. And the guy's like hardcore Iron Hands. Like he has Iron Hands t-shirt, a sweatshirt, which I think both he got custom. I don't think those are like official GW products. He's got both of those Iron Hands. He's got an Iron Hands tattoo on his left pec. And
Nice.
which he shared, by the way. He's like, "Oh, by the way, guys, check this out." During a tournament, and he like dragged his t-shirt down. It was funny, but he's hardcore Iron Hands, and the army like is all kit bash. Like none of it is just the raw fucking models, and it's most of it was firstborn. Like I've seen his army. The dude spent so much time either 3D printing bits for this army, or getting like bits from other kits and stuff and making them look unique as fuck. All of them have one or two limbs that are replaced with like robotic ones. Some of them are clearly Necron bits that he's put on, and he's just added little custom bits to it with either green stuff or something. But again, the guy's hardcore. That's the thing with Iron Hands players or Iron Hands fans, is you either have nobody who fucking even knows they exist, which is the vast majority of people, or you have those one or two weird little nugget people who, despite the fact there's so fucking little that we have about both the Legion and Ferris, but despite that, they cling to what little we do have with this zealotry, which is kind of impressive.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I've seen that once with this guy, and apparently, not that I want to like bring up other content creators without talking to them about being mentioned on a show, but fuck it. Bricky, apparently, he also talked about one of his Las Vegas Opens that he went to, and he described someone similar to that who was also a hardcore Iron Hands fan. So again, like there's these very small nuggets of people who have this weird zealoted love of them, but for the vast majority of the community, and objectively, the Iron Hands are lacking lots of substance.
Yeah, I can't because I can't imagine them now being able to expand into the Iron Hands lore, because I feel like anything interesting that you could then talk about the Iron Hands has already been discussed with the Iron Warriors, because the Iron Warriors' main shtick is machinery, isn't it? It's machinery and sieging.
Kind of.
But then the fucking Iron Hands are kind of the same. So anything you try and do with the Iron Hands, people in the Iron Warriors fandom are gonna go, "Oh well, they already fucking did that. Oh, they already did." It's like Family Guy and The Simpsons. Like The Simpsons already did that.
I will stand up for the Iron Hands players a little bit here with what you just said. And I don't get me wrong, I see where you're coming from, and to the average person, I think they share that perspective that you have, where it's like, oh well, the Iron Warriors are big on machinery and like the mechanical thing. It's not they are, but it's not the same flavor. So with Iron Warriors, it's like big mechs. It's like, okay, custom dreadnoughts, demon engines. It's that kind of stuff. But they're not really obsessed with replacing their body parts with like mechanical bits, and they don't really have the perspective of like, oh, the flesh is weak, it must be replaced with mechanical parts. That's the Iron Hands. The Iron Hands, a better way to think about them is they're basically Space Marines Mechanicus. Kind of. So that's like the core. Think of it like this. You know how Kaiju in the community, he's big on tanks, right?
Yeah.
That's the Iron Warriors. They're big on big vehicles, big machinery, and cool tech, but they don't like mesh it with their bodies. The Iron Hands, they're like, fuck, this arm is made out of flesh. Gay. Cuts it off, replaces it with the mechanical arm with like 5 drills attached.
I get what you mean, but it's such like a niche difference. Like it's still machinery all the fucking same. Like at least the salamanders, they've got like fire, the blood angels, well, blood and the red rage or whatever. But you've just got two different flavors of machinery, and one's like instead of building big machinery, I'm going to replace myself with machinery.
Yeah.
Oh, who was our Primarch again? Fuck knows. No one can remember him because he's in like what 5 stories, if that.
I will say this
Yeah.
on behalf of the few nuggets that really enjoy the Iron Hands. I applaud your dedication. I will
yeah,
say that.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
I'm scared of their dedication. Like, the one I've met, Jesus. So like, there's dedication, then there's tattooing the symbol on your left pec. I'm not getting over that. Like, we didn't ask him. He's just like, "Hey guys, want to see? Like, you think the shirt and the sweatshirt's cool? Check this out." And he pulls his shirt down and shows it off with this level of pride, like a shit-eating grin on his face. It's like, okay.
Congratulations, I guess.
One thing I love about Iron Hands fans is the fact that, do you reckon they read like every new story that comes out and they just skim through the pages only to look if the Iron Hands are even mentioned, just to remind themselves that they exist?
Fuck yeah.
Like, they don't even look for any additional lore. Like, they just want to see if they're mentioned, to see if their army has not been fucking retconned just by sheer, I don't know, fucking what's the word? When someone's not mentioned for a long time.
Negligence.
Reference?
No, yeah, reference. Just like just to see if the army has not been retconned by like the sheer lack of referencing them for so long.
I'll tell you this. Like, if that's the case, then I can't remember the name of the book, but there's one of the one-off books. Shoot, the main characters arrive in a scene, and to kind of establish the threat of the enemy, the writer had like a large number of Iron Hands were killed, like their bodies are strewn everywhere.
Oh no!
So if what you're saying is true about, and it probably is, about Iron Hands, like dedicated fans, I can imagine like they were skimming that book, and they're like, "Oh, Iron Hands are mentioned." Aw.
Yes,
they're all dead. They're all being used as a metric.
I don't even think like they'd be sad if they died. It was like, "Oh, Iron Hands are mentioned. We died, but that means we still exist. Woo!
We're still there."
Yeah, we like, in order to die, we must exist. Therefore, we exist.
But
validation.
actually, I think the only like lore moment that kind of stands out for me with the Iron Hands is that, do you remember that one lore moment where Vulcan is in basically in the presence of a bunch of Iron Hands, and they wanted to show Vulcan basically like a recreation of Ferrus Manus, like mechanical, and then Vulcan gets
I don't remember this.
I do. This was. I don't remember. Okay, I do remember that Vulcan smashed it to pieces because he's offended by it because this was his brother. I didn't. That's the thing. I heard this from a video from a long time ago.
I don't recall this in the lore. I recall something like this with the Emperor's children, but even then the circumstances were about their own.
Oh wait, hang on. Vulcan lunged, hammer trailing in his wake to tear the cloak from the Gorgon and expose the lie beneath. Swung the hammer and felled the grim effigy in one blow. He then reached out to grab Org by the throat. An insult, said Vulcan, his voice thick with emotion. And a Sat's version of my brother, of your father, has the iron tent sunk solar. Yeah, that happened.
Yes.
So you can summarize that moment though, if you'd like. That the Iron Hands were like, "Hey, Uncle Vulcan, here's our macaroni art of Dad," and he's like, "Fuck this shit,
yeah, fuck off."
Is it not? Is it not the equivalent? Am I wrong?
I could just imagine the Iron Hands of like the largest refrigerator, and they just pin him to the fridge. It's just like, "See, look what we made." Oh, isn't that nice? Just like grimacing like fucking hell.
The Vulcan just rips it off the fridge and tosses it in the garbage. How dare you!
What the fuck is this? Is this what they're teaching you in Imperium school?
I'm just saying, like, that's the visual I get with that. It's Iron Hands are like, "Here's my macaroni art, Vulcan. It's of my dad."
Oh my god, I can imagine he's doing like the fucking index fingers as he's doing that. Like, "I'm sure I tried."
I love the idea that there's like a really inappropriate moment, but it's just like Vulcan goes, "What is this?" It's like, "What are those? What is this?"
So like, what book is that? Like that from? Like I'm totally ghost on this situation.
Is it Old Earth?
Old Earth? Huh.
Old Earth novel. Yeah.
Yeah.
I read that one.
Yeah,
Huh.
Old Earth.
I guess I just don't remember the specific moment.
Wow. Call yourself a
Man.
40k fan, you don't remember this one specific moment. Well, gate kept.
I know.
Well, to be fair, it involves an
Me too.
Iron Hands, so
Wow, absolute Taurus. Absolute Taurus, Dasma.
Okay.
so all right.
All right. So we ready to move on to Nathan's topic?
Yeah, if you guys are ready, it's fine.
Let's do it.
All right. So we're on to our next topic. Topic number 2. Nathan brought this one forth. It's our theories, ideas, our thoughts on the Dawn of War 4 idea. Again,
Sorry. What I meant when I said that initially was not like theories and I did, but what would you like to see Dawn of War for? Like, how would you like to see it done? Basically, like, what would be your ideal Dawn of War for?
Someone want to go
Giving me-
first while I think about it?
Yeah.
I have an idea
I
in
think
my head, but I don't know if anyone. Well, actually,
You want to develop it? You want to develop it first, or
I'll go first. I'll go first and develop it as I speak.
okay?
If you want.
I mean, I can speak first because obviously it's a topic that I had brought up.
Yeah,
But
Yeah, go
You go
ahead.
obviously,
first.
like I'm
You go first.
like a very Dawn of War centered, so I've been thinking about this at work, but I've got fucking nothing to do. Boss makes $1 while I make a dime, so I think about Dawn of War 4 theories on company time. Okay, so after the absolute travesty that Dawn of War 3 was, I still
That-
think it's possible that they would make a Dawn of War 4. It's just that everybody who did work on Dawn of War 3 would not even be allowed near the project. Like, they'd get an entire new team, possibly people back from Dawn of War 2 or Dawn of War 1, to work on Dawn of War 4.
Mhm.
And I definitely think, I think if they were to do Dawn of War 4, I reckon they should go back to the style of Dawn of War 1,
Absolutely.
but give it the graphical capability of Dawn of War 2. Because I don't really believe that people are looking into Dawn of War like with graphical prowess in mind, because people still play like Unification, Ultimate Apocalypse, Firestorm over Caravas, Firestorm over Cronus mods, shit like that. They're not looking for graphical like beauty. They just
No.
want a very easy on the eyes game, but also full of absolute 40k mayhem. So if they do fall,
Carnage.
like I said, yeah, number 1 with the graphical capabilities of number 2, because there's a lot of modern systems out now that can handle 2 on like or like high settings or ultra settings. So give that with the scope of like, I don't know, something like the Ultimate Apocalypse mods, and it'll be widely accessible to a ton of people. And you can just bring back a bunch of the old fans with different incorporating elements. Like, basically, TLDR just makes Dawn of War 1 and 2 together, but don't mix the gameplay. Like, just make it Dawn of War 1 gameplay, but all the graphics and shit, make it Dawn of War 2. Engine-based Dawn of War 2.
Yeah.
If you get...
Although, what so that actually brings up a question. Okay, so for like the story of a Dawn of War 4, what would you like to see the Blood Ravens do?
Well, that's one thing I'm thinking about, because obviously Dawn of War should launch with, at least if you're taking it back to Dawn of War 1 standard, Dawn of War, the base game, should launch with 4 factions. So I think there should be 2 separate campaigns, and one is between the Blood Ravens and the Chaos Space Marines. Basically, they've gone after I forgot his name, like Azrai Kane, I think. I don't know, I don't know. It's the dude at the end of Dawn of War 2 that basically put like he's worshipping Korn and he gives out that big, really fucking epic speech that I do recommend everyone look up on YouTube. Like it is beautiful voice acting.
I do need to
think, isn't it?
finish Dawn of War 2. I have not.
You've not
got-
finished. Oh
No, I'm sorry. I have finished Dawn of War 1 because I do love Dawn of War 1. It's just that, without the base building, it's kind of harder for me to get into Dawn of War 2.
I finished
Oh.
I finished both the first game and the second game, and I finished the third that shall not be named.
Yes. Okay. Right. Okay. Sorry.
With deep regret.
Sorry. It's not Azariah Kane. It's Azariah Kairos. I should say.
Right.
So
I was about to say
Azariah Kairos
another
gives-
character named Kane in this franchise is super.
Yeah.
God damn
So
it.
basically, the Blood Ravens, they got sick of the shit last time, so now they've gone on the offensive and they're going after the Chaos Space Marines. That can be one campaign. And maybe the second campaign could just be between two other factions, like, I don't know, something like box, like Eldar and the Dark Eldar. Like, maybe don't even introduce Orcs initially. And that sounds like blasphemy for, like, Dawn of War, but I think if you keep going with the same factions over and over, if you want to make sequels, you're just going to bore people.
This is gonna be. I'm sure this is gonna sound odd, but would this not be a chance for, say, putting the League of Votan, maybe? Because we barely have.
DLC. Because
DLC.
if Dawn of War 4 was to happen, I reckon they'd have to make a bunch of new units either at the same time or after Leagues of Votan gets expanded. Because as far as I'm aware, they're not really that fleshed out at the moment.
Yeah.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't think they've got like a lot of variety to them on the tabletop, and that's ideally what they want Dawn of War games to kind of do.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
Well, what things?
The Leagues of Votan.
I misheard. Okay. Yeah, they do not have a ton of variety at the moment. It's not like they don't got anything. They have enough to make an army with customization. It's nothing impressive. I really don't like the Leagues of Votan, so.
I mean, I don't like them, but if we have to have them, maybe this could be a way to, yeah. But I just think, like, I just like the idea though of changing it so it could actually fit like the aesthetic of 40K.
I want squats. That's what Votan was supposed to be. They're not squats.
Yeah.
Don't want to start a firestorm in the comments, but I'm sorry, they're not. They're not squats.
I mean, to be fair, if they were to be putting a new Dawn of War game once they've been fleshed out, like that's the perfect way to kind of, at least from GW's point of view, that's the perfect way to drive up interactivity and exposure to like the biggest fucking quotes I've ever used, new faction. So yeah, maybe it's like DLC once Dawn of War 4 proves itself. But I'd like to think graphics of Dawn of War 2, the gameplay of Dawn of War 1, but when you go into the army creator, I reckon you should flesh it, like you should flesh that out the most.
Oh yeah.
Because people just make their own armies, people make their own color schemes, emblems and shit like that.
Yeah, a big thing they could do, and it'd be easy with modern technology and modern customization and stuff. Like with Dawn of War 1, the army painter is literally just the colors, right? But the models stay the same. Something as simple as just allowing us to alter the colors in the same way as 1, and also allow us to choose like how does the helmet look, how does the backpack look, how does the weapon design look, how's the loadouts look? Like literally, let us customize the individual components of each model's unit like a kit bash.
Yeah,
that would be massive.
I was gonna mention that because some of the mods currently out there for Dawn of War, like Ultimate Apocalypse and Unification, when you spawn certain units in the game, they have different RNG models. So it's completely random at which one they pick, but you might have a Chaos Space Marine with like upward facing horns with a skull in the middle, or just a regular upward facing horns, or forward facing horns, or backward facing horns. Or the Space Marines might have different types of helmets when they spawn in, like RNG versions. I think in the army painter, you should be able to color individual components of the armor as well as, put whatever emblems that you'd want. but you should also be able to like equip a few RNG units, like have like saved variants of a unit in the top corner, like up to 5. And then it'll just like pick from that random pool and it'll spawn them in. So you can either have them all consistent, or you can just create like a vastly varied
Well,
army.
yeah.
for
Also,
flavor.
if they let us import stuff, like badges and banners and stuff like that. Oh, that would be great because we could already do that in the first one, and it would be bullshit if they couldn't do that in a fourth one.
Do you mean it be more accessible? Because technically, we like you said, we already can, but maybe there's like an emblem uploader or some shit like that. You can just directly send it in rather than have to go into the directory and mess about with it.
Yeah, that would be great.
Mm.
That would be
So
great.
yeah, my vision would be regular 4 army. Well, the regular 4 starting armies, gameplay Dawn of War 1, expanded customization, but similar to Dawn of War 2 with the pattern picks as well, and then obviously subsequent DLC that would expand upon it if the base game were to do well, which I would trust that it would do well because they could not afford another failure. Well, I mean,
No.
I suppose Sega could afford a new failure, but I don't think Relic could. Like just
really
watching them
dead.
with a very oh shit, they might be actually.
I was gonna say, aren't they dead? Relic.
They were dead.
Pretty sure they're dead. Not that I want to kill anybody's. I could be wrong.
Relic.
Yeah.
Oh, was it Relic Entertainment? Wait a minute.
They laid a bunch of people off, that much I know, but I don't think they killed Relic.
No, apparently it's still going on.
Yeah, they had layoffs.
Okay, good. I was gonna say I thought they got liquidated, but it's good if they haven't.
Yeah.
Yeah, at least not yet. Oh.
But yeah, like I said, so Sega would just be watching over Relic with a big fucking eye, like the son out of like Super Mario like 3, just looking down at them constantly. Like, you better not fuck up. We'll get you. Look at what EA's doing. Do you want us to do an EA? No, I'm sure you don't.
I don't know. Like, I don't know if it's like just the state of things lately, but as you were describing, like each feature that you would want for a Dawn of War 4, I was thinking about, okay, how are they gonna monetize that? So I immediately, like with the faction stuff, faction DLC. Like if you want to play Space Marines, Drukhari, or Eldar, orcs, and like one other basic faction. So, you want to play Tyranids? Well, there's a Tyranid DLC. Oh, you want to play Genestealer Cults? Well, there's a Genestealer Cults DLC. Oh, if you want to play World Leaders, you're gonna play World Leaders, etc., etc., etc. So I think they wrap that behind DLC. In terms of like components,
yeah, that's to be expected. Because to be fair, they did that with the first game.
I think they'd also add a microtransaction store for like the different components you could customize your units with. So if you wanted like a Mark III helmet, you'd have to buy the Mark III like transaction store set for 1400 COD point equivalent bullshit, platinum, whatever the fuck, requisition points or some shit.
Don't think they would.
Why would?
Because
really?
They tried that with Dawn of War 3 with the store with the elite skins, and that did not go down well.
I don't think
Arch
that
made a few videos. Well, I mean, there's nothing to say that the game company, Relic or Sega, would implement it, because there's nothing to say that they have to, and they have previous bad experience where Dawn of War...
Have to? No. Like, I don't think any company has to. For me, I'm just looking at the industry as a whole nowadays. Out of the AAA game genres, what hasn't come out with microtransactions? Because I could, like, Skull and Bones, that bullshit came out. Payday 3, that came out. Like, all those came out. Darktide had microtransaction stores. They didn't need them at all. There was no reason to add those other than money.
Yeah, I know it's a bit of a doomer perspective though to immediately assume that everything's gonna have
Uh,
microtransactions are
I,
kind of gonna
I,
be
I,
shit.
I would disagree. That's a
It's a lot more
doomer
of a
perspective.
like it's a realistic perspective
Yeah, I'd argue
and
that's realistic.
like
Doomer would
noticing
be like,
patterns,
I think Doomer would be like,
but
it would
Doom is
ruin
still
it.
assuming that it would.
No, I disagree. I think Doomer would be like, okay, if they do microtransactions though, that it would be like the only thing to work, right? And then like everything else would suck about the game. Like that's the Doomer perspective. I think it's just realistic to assume that they'd add a microtransaction store. Because that's
And
just,
plus,
I think that's, I think there's plenty of fair examples of that. That I think that would be the common expectation at this point.
yeah, but it's expecting it when they don't technically need to, and they have past experience where Dawn War has a very niche audience. You know, and they tried that with the Elite Store, and I can't think of a single person that advocated saying, "Oh, this Elite Store is very good and it's fair and it's balanced. Let me just grind a shit ton for skulls to pay for skins when there's barely any content in the game anyway." Like those fuckers tried and it did not work.
Again,
So I doubt they'd put it in.
I hope you're right. I'll put it like that. I hope you're right. I don't think you would be though. That's my thing. Like I can't. There's so many games I've played with lately that, by all accounts, shouldn't have microtransactions. Doesn't make sense for them to have microtransactions, yet they do. It's again. I'm not gonna say it would ruin a Dawn of War 4. It would just be a thing. I think that's likely at the very least for any game coming up. It's not just a Dawn of War 4. It's like any game. Like there are indie games with microtransactions now, which is also kind of depressing. Not many, thankfully. Like the indie market seems to be where it's safe to not get that stuff. Is Relic AA or AAA?
Yeah, there is like a double A. I mean,
No,
Larian.
no. Like my question was specifically, was Relic AA or AAA, or are they? Do we know?
think they used to be double A.
I don't know, if they're still AA, then there's a chance there won't be microtransactions because a lot of AA studios avoid it. If
What game series would you consider Age of Empires? Because that's Relic. Now,
as in like as in what?
would you consider Age of Empires AA or AAA?
Oh, Age of Empires. I think it's AAA
Because like I said
now.
that, yeah. Because like I said, that's now Relic.
Okay, yeah, then they're probably AAA. Yeah, if they're AAA, it's highly likely. I'm not saying it would ruin the game, but the having monetization and microtransactions, I think, is highly likely.
Yeah, especially because there are so many models of in 40K. Obviously, it being a model based franchise, so I feel like, oh, we could have this particular unit. We can we can add this one and this one. But hopefully, if there ever is a Dawn of War 4, I hope that will never happen.
Yeah, I hope they wouldn't do that either.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I can expect, like we can expect DLC because that's what number 1, number 2, and well, did
Oh,
number 3
yeah.
did number 3 get DLC or did they like not release anything for DLC?
I don't think 3 did. I know
I
that
think three.
2.
I think 3 had one DLC before they gave up on it. I might be wrong.
Could.
Hmm.
Because like assuming a company would just put microtransactions in, because like down to greed or whatever, like just trying to nickel and diamond players. I feel like that itself would be a bit of doomer perspective because they don't have to, but just assuming because of malice and like, oh, these people have been waiting for a Dawn War game. Hey, let's rub our hands together and steal all
Well,
their money and shit.
I don't ascribe that to any studio that has microtransactions. Like, I don't think it's malice. I think like that's weird for someone to say. They're a company. They want money. I'm like that. I don't like malice is such a weird way to put it. I'm not saying no one has that perspective. I'm sure some people like envision in their heads, like
Well, greed is born out of malice in terms of companies. Like, if they can squeeze the money out of people that play their games for like the word, like what fucking Total War Warhammer 3 did. Like that DLC did not need to be that expensive for that little amount of content.
True.
Mm.
That's what I mean.
This might be like a difference, like personal definition, because like when I think of malice, I think of like intent to do harm. When I think of like DLC or
Financial harm.
there's an argument for that. I don't know. I just tend to when I think of malice, I think of like the intent is to do the harm. The intent is not to get the thing out of it. And I'd say like I don't think it's malice. I think it's just it's becoming the industry standard for video games to have microtransactions. It's how companies make the most amount of money. It's kind of like how movies make the most amount of money of merchandising. Merchandising rights are like the big thing with film. The big thing with money making when it comes to video games is the microtransactions. I mean, Fortnite is a free game, but it's like a multi-billion-dollar money printing machine. Why? Microtransactions. I as much as I would hope that like your perspective, Nathan, it was shared by studios and publishers these days, which is, oh, we don't have to have it for this game, and it's not necessary. It's arguably it's never necessary to put that in, but they do. And what's worse is oftentimes they do with intentionally manipulative practices, like Helldivers 2. That's like a AA game, right? That just came out. That game does not need microtransactions, but it does have them, and it has a rotating item shop as well. Like, and those are also completely unnecessary. Like, if you're gonna do microtransactions, that's also completely unnecessary, but it's done to instigate FOMO. There's a lot of things that they don't have to, nor is there any like fair reason to do it, but they'll still do it because they want to maximize profit. And like that's kind of like the state of the industry right now. Like, unfortunately, I'm not saying like it's impossible for a AAA studio to release a game without microtransactions. It's perfectly possible. It's just rare, and it's like the thing to do is microtransactions. It's against the grain not to do them now, at the current moment.
Well, I mean, the sooner companies realize that if you have no microtransactions in your games, you will develop such a loyal following because you're an actual game company that stood against the grain and didn't nickel and dime fucking players of like the most basic of extra cosmetics. You'll get such a loyal following that any subsequent game that you release or any very well crafted, worthwhile DLC that you put out, people just buy them in droves, like without a second question asked.
Yeah, I mean,
And I genuinely think that could work for Dawn of War because it did for number one.
Yeah, wasn't that how you, especially because you're an XCOM fan, wasn't that also the good the goodwill that brought out with the original the new XCOM games? They polished it to such a degree.
Yeah, I think that was in one of my videos. Like, they done XCOM 2, and I'm not sure whether that was down to Fire Access or 2K. I'm pretty sure that was fucking 2K because 2K is just 2K are very choice people. I've come to learn. They basically released a bunch of shitty side cosmetics like they did with 1, but it wasn't necessary. And they did Alien Hunters as well. But War of the Chosen, people bought that without a second question. They were like, "Oh, a lot of content for our money." Very well polished. Well, I mean, as polished as fucking XCOM can be. Well polished XCOM 2 gameplay benefit to anyone that buys it, and then you've got the Tactical Legacy expansion for absolutely free, just to show people thanks for downloading our stuff and supporting us. People just got that in droves. Because they were like, oh, a company that actually cares about its fans. Shock fucking horror. It works out for us in the long run. Who would have guessed that? And to be fair, that could work out in Relic's favor as well. You make another absolutely banging Dawn of War game. you're going to bring a bunch of old people back. You're going to bring a lot of new fans, and drives up the sale of GW, drives up the popularity of Relic, and Relic can go back to making like tons of AAA bangers again.
Mhm.
Because Asmo, you raised a good point. Like I think they might have slipped back down to A2 because I've not heard about Relic in a fucking while.
Yeah, like that's why I thought they were dead. Like I
Mm.
can't think of the last game they worked on. Relic.
Is that Age of Empires 4?
Probably. Relic Entertainment Games most recent. Yep, Age of Empires 4, 2023.
Yeah. Although to be fair, okay, right. So I think I've rambled on this topic too much. So what are your guys' thoughts on Dawn of War 4? What would you like to see out of it?
I can go next if Nico you haven't.
Yeah, no, go ahead. Go ahead. You go first.
All right. For me, it's probably where I'll make a deviation. As much as I love the original Dawn of War 1, and if they just copied that and took the graphics of 2 and moved with that, maybe added a little bit more customization options, that for me would be damn near perfect, but in like an even more perfect reality. I would do one redesign with how the game works. This is due to purely preference. I like more of a StarCraft, Warcraft style RTS. And for me, it would be fun if 40K were to see that kind of stylization with like the fourth Dawn of War. And it's very slight changes onto onto the already existing format with what Relic did with the RTS format, where they do squad based. I would just simply like to see, you know, I like to see like individual unit control outside of just HQs rather than have like squad based. Yeah, like that's not my favorite kind of RTS. I don't dislike it. Again, I love Dawn of War 1, but if I had to make like one, like in my ideal version of Dawn of War, it would be StarCraft 2, but Dawn of War voice lines and aesthetic with the army customizer.
Yeah.
So that'd be the summation of like my ideal Dawn of War 4. That might, to be fair, I probably think most people would prefer Dawn of War 1 as it was design wise, and then with just higher end graphics and more customization. And I wouldn't complain with that. Like that would be still damn amazing. It's just if I had to tailor it to like what I love most, it would just be game design wise closer to like something like StarCraft or Warcraft.
Yeah, that sounds very Red Alert too, as well. You know, with like building individual units rather than squads.
Yeah, more like that for sure. So that'd be like my big air quotes change, and I don't think it'd be that bad of a change.
It's kind of
Maybe not.
now that we're talking about it, I've got to say it kind of depresses me the fact that how do you take such a basic concept of just make Dawn of War 1 but make it more graphically viable, and and just like having that idea of appeasing so many people and then not going with it from a MOBA like perspective and just fucking it up for everyone. Like, how the fuck did you get Dawn of War 3 wrong?
No idea. Like that
You
was
have
impressive.
to purposefully get it wrong. There are so many ways you could get it right. You chose to fuck it up.
Oh,
Impressive.
Go
very.
on, Nico. Tuning.
Well, honestly, well, you're kind of right that my ideal Dawn of War would just be kind of similar to Dawn of War 1. I think this might. I kind of want. Okay, so picture this, right? Imagine this. You see a trailer. You see Dawn of War 4. It's like, oh my god, nice, very catchy. And then comes like a subtitle, or just like one beneath that, Ultimate Apocalypse. Oh, I would love to see that. It would be the Ultimate Apocalypse with like updated graphics engine and obviously rebalancing so it could support more players and everything. And it's like I would love to see that. I would love to see. I don't really have that much difference on what like a perfect Dawn of War game would be. I'll say from you guys, like I don't have any big difference. So yeah.
To be fair, when I did mention the Dawn of War gameplay, yeah, you kind of expanded on what I said a little bit. Yeah, I would I'd like all Dawn of War games going forward to be Ultimate Apocalypse in scale. Like
Yes.
Titans, Knights, Hierophants,
Gargants.
Wraithbone, Wraith Knights, fucking whatever. Just
It would be
big
so-
units
yeah.
kicking the
Nathan?
shit out of each other.
Nathan, I just thought some. So you know how you said like you could make like several customizations of several units that would like RNG into like squad generate respawning units. So and you know how like Slanesh units have like one exposed boob. So what if like for one customization you made like one with like a B cup titty, and then another one you made it like an E cup, then one is like an I cup, and then you go back to like A. And then like that was the old
fucking Asmogan to RNG the tits.
I'll just say it like it's like little titty, big titty, everybody loves a titty.
Titty, fucking like the Mr. Incredible meme. Titty is titty.
Fucking rainbows of titties. No,
Imagine that's like the only thing like you customize though. Like they look identical otherwise, but like it's like you spawn them into the squad and like each one appears just like, all right, which variation did I get? Oh, big titty, small titty, big titty, big titty, big titty.
yeah.
It'll just be a competition. Like even the fucking enemies will just be like, "Hey, so what's your titty count like?" I don't know. Got several E cups, got a D cup, or whatever.
I will say though, like if they actually did do like I said, Ultimate Apocalypse, Dawn of War 4, that would be such a great way to bring Dawn of War back, into the public consciousness. It'd be so epic, and it's like if it was a great product, just like I would play it on day one, and I would just I would go missing for a few days.
Oh yeah,
Like my family is calling. It's like, have you seen our son?
They try open the door with a crowbar, and like the whole room is just absolutely like entrenched in your bo because you haven't moved in days.
No.
And you just like rotate your eyes to look at them, and you could hear the skin cracking as your eyelids are not used to you moving them.
Nicho, Nicho, baby, are you in here? He just turns around, hisses, "Fuck off, mother! I'm capturing a command post. Leave me be."
Do not touch the process. It is mine.
Come on, hang on. I do one more match, please, please.
You're just fucking hunched over your desk like fucking like what's his name, XQC.
Oh my god, yeah.
Absolute Smeagol at his desk, just like
Goblin
staring
mode.
at the screen. One more match.
Imagine they finally get you to leave the room when they turn on like an LED like light at you.
Oh my god.
Yeah, it's just
Oh my god.
See, be gone out of this room.
Oh yeah.
Oh god.
Yeah. All right.
yeah. I think that settles it for the second topic.
Yeah, I'd say
Yes.
so. What do we gotta say?
How about the third?
Yes, Nico's
yeah.
suggested topic.
Nicho's.
Yes. What lore moments or saga would you like to see a comic book adaptation of? Now I'll go first because this is my topic, and I think you'll agree with me on this, Asmo. Because of your latest video on the Black Templars, I've gained a lot of respect for Sigismund. So imagine this: comic book adaptation of his death. I would love to see it.
Only of his death? It'd be like a single
No,
issue.
no. I mean, like everything that leads up to it.
Oh, okay.
Basically.
Yeah, oh, yeah, absolutely. That'd be fantastic.
Oh, that'd be great. And I love the idea that it would just be, it could be, like in dark colors and stuff like that, or it could, it could be interesting seeing in black and white. Kind of, similar to the color scheme of the Black Templar. Yeah, with a grit and everything. Oh, I think it would be great. What about you guys? What would you like to see? Like, what would get you to read a 40K comic? What would you like to see?
I mean, before we go any further, I would like to say that there are existing 40K comics that people should take a look at. Me and Ace actually went over one of them on his streams a while back. Ace 1918 for anybody watching. And let me pull up the
Yeah, because I heard about one of the comics that they released, and it's about the legendary hero Marnius Calgar, and I've heard that comic's really good. Like it's like the
No.
pinnacle of 40K storytelling.
No.
See, right? I see, Nicho. I can hear you audibly saying no, but I'm hearing pure silence from Asmo because I think he's just gritting his teeth right now.
Like,
I'm currently drawing up an effigy of you.
All
right.
No, it's just look. It's not the issue.
It's a really good comic, Nicho. What do you mean?
Okay. It'd be one thing if this was like some rando like Space Marine, but it's one of the legendary characters. Like I feel like it could do better than this. Oh yeah, Damnation Crusade. That was one of the comic books that I think Arch mentioned.
Yep, this
Yeah,
crew.
that's
This
really good.
This is.
It's got the old logo. It's got the old logo.
Yeah, this is the peak of 40K comics. Damnation Crusade.
Oh, yeah.
Everyone needs to check it out. Tancred is my boy. This is my boy.
It is good.
It is a good comic. So there are existing 40K comics out there, folks, who are watching, that aren't made by Marvel, that are actually good. So check this out. Fuck the Calgar comic. The Sisters of Battle one's pretty okay. But this Damnation Crusade, check it out. That is a 40K comic.
There's 6 issues of it. God damn.
In 6 issues of perfection.
God fucking damn.
I think also there's another one. I don't know if you guys seen it. Lone Wolves. That one. Let me look that one up. That one. I thought that one was. Oh my god! I thought that one was interesting. You know, involving the. I hope you didn't hear that. Involving the space wolves on a frozen planet with the Slovak regiment of the Imperial Guard, and I think I think it was kind of neat. But then again, I'm a massive lay for space wolves because I'm a.
Gee, I wonder why.
Yeah, I wonder why. Yeah.
Hashtag relatable.
Yes.
Do you have headphones on? I can hear myself in the background.
Oh, he's using the fucking speakers again.
God damn it! I'm gonna buy you headphones for your birthday.
He already has them. Just refuses to use them.
Use them. I don't care how it hurts your fat ears. Love you.
You call his ears fat for shame, Asmo.
Oh, mine are fatter. Trust me. And
that's ear shaming.
But as for comics that don't exist, that I would like to see for 40K, not done by Marvel, preferably. Can I answer this from 2 angles?
Sure.
From existing lore that we already have like novelizations or already have like written down variations of, just to see in comic book form, I would love to see the Third War of Armageddon. I know I reference that almost every episode of podcast so far, but it's just such an amazing saga of a story. Like that is such a fun story. So to see it in comic book form, especially done in the same way they did Damnation Crusade, I would fucking love. That would be fantastic. So yeah, I would love to see that. As for like my the other angle I'd like to approach the answer, I'd like to see more comics in general for 40K that are original stories. Because we already have like novels covering certain segments of like the Horus Heresy, or we even have some of the Marvel ones, as much as I hate them, they exist, covering like Calgar and stuff. So for me, I just want more comics coming up with new stories for 40K, adding to the mythos rather than reiterating the mythos.
Yeah.
The Damnation Crusade was that, Damnation Crusade was its own original story within 40K. So it'd be cool to get more comics like that. So that'd be like the second angle I'd approach the answer to the question. More comics in general, and maybe through comics, maybe since comics are a visual medium, and obviously a novel about Tyranids is impractical, especially from their perspective. maybe do a comic book from the perspective of a Gene Stealer cult, or from the perspective of Gene Stealers. You know, like I obviously through a comic you won't have to do, you know, everything through verbal description. It's all drawn. So
Yeah.
it'd be a fun way for the audience to kind of follow a Gene Stealer or follow a Tyrannid or follow something that normally in written word would be harder to comprehend. When you're relying on actual visual aids like a comic, it's more practical. Yeah, you can actually follow the creature.
Yeah, I just kind of love the idea of a Gene Stealer. It's like, okay, so it starts off like the planet is an imperial world, and it's like, okay, everything's kind of boring, but meh. But then it's like slowly over the course of the comic, like you know, the Gene Stealer starts to have their influence, and I just love the idea that it just ends with like the sky turning black as the Tyranids approach, and it just like says end, because we know what's gonna happen.
Yeah, like that's more possible to do in a comic book form, whereas, you know, doing that in like a written novel is way harder to do, and it's probably why we don't have any like novels from the perspective of Tyranids. Why we have so few from the perspective of orcs. You know, something both like those factions that are less comprehensible from like a human perspective, I think would benefit from a visual medium like comics.
Absolutely.
I could just imagine like if you were to make a book with Tyranids, like it'd just be like a child's picture book. Like you wouldn't even have any words. It's just like garble, garble, munch, munch, munch.
It's like num num num.
Num num num.
Oh my god, it's just like
It could be a pop-up book and everything.
Yeah. Oh my god, I just love the idea that like you have like the little slide where it's just like it's like chewing on like a guardsman or just like yum yum yum.
Do you know the things that used to get in old children's books were like you'd pull the tag out the side of a book and then something would pop up? Like, can imagine if you did that, but like a licked tongue would come out.
Oh, actually,
It's like scritchy scratch goes the Ripper Swarm. Scritchy scratch indeed, said the Gene Stealer.
oh, they gotta make that. You know that old like children's or infants. You know, you pull the thing and it like randomly rotates around. It's like the cow goes oink oink. You know, they should have that for like 40K. It's like pull aside, rotates around, lands on a hive tyrant. It's like
I would.
Yeah,
goes the hive tyrant.
Scritchy scratch goes the Ripper Swarm.
Oh my god!
Rah, the hive tyrant. Oh fucking Jesus Christ goes the guardsman. What is that?
Dude, that would be perfect for like the orcs perspective, right? It's just like you're the dude. Imagine like a big war boss's book of the book of Wa. All right, the war boss says Wa, and then all the boys did what? That's right. They went and then they committed the what? And you can even pull the slide and you can see like the Wa, like the word coming from.
That's assuming they could even spell that.
I can just imagine like fucking Gorguts from Dawn of War just reading to his orcs and that, like in that voice.
Yes.
I can just imagine like an orc reading, quote air quotes, like has a book open, but then like someone looks over his shoulder and goes, "Wait a minute, there ain't no words on it. There is if I say there is." Smashes his head with the book, embeds it in his skull.
If enough orcs believe there are words on that page,
there will be words on that page.
Technically, there'll be words.
I mean, they're not.
We believe the big book has the words. Does it have words now? After 554 orcs have finally thought about it, yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
There's one word in there. What does it say? Wah.
Wow.
Oh, look, there's a second word. Daka.
Oh, there's another one. Get.
Wah, Daka, get. Wah, Daka, get. Wah, Daka, get. Wah, Daka, get. We go marching for the Wah.
Yeah.
You see them all like having stolen Maccabi and Janissary fucking equipment as they're marching, or no, Praetorian Guard get-ups, and they're just like marching. Oh, wah da get, wah da get, Warakagirigo.
Stop. But Nathan, what do you think? What would you love to see in the comic book medium regarding 40K?
Okay, right. This one's piss easy for me. So bringing it back to Dawn of War because I like the games. If you guys couldn't tell,
You don't fucking
Mm.
say.
Yeah.
what I would like a comic book series of is what happened before the events of Dawn of War 1 on the planet of Cyrene.
Mm.
Because it's mentioned several times by Gabriel Angelos in the first game that he has a lot of hang-ups, especially in the games 1 and 2, about what happened on the previous world of Cyrene. Like, it eats at him. And we kind of know what happened, but we don't know in depth, panel by panel, what happens on Cyrene. So I think that would be a perfect place for a comic book series to take. Well, that would be a perfect place for a comic book series to be set in, to predate the games,
Yeah.
and maybe drum up some, I don't know, interest in the game franchise again. I don't know, not 3, fuck 3, but 1 and 2.
Cyrene Valencian, known as the Blessed Lady. So it's the confessor.
Asmo, the planet is called Cyrene. There just happens to also be another bitch who's called
Okay, I was
Cyrene
just
as well.
confirming that you're just referring to the planet, not this, right?
No, yeah, I'm just referring to the planet. The
Alright,
word,
yeah.
yeah, that bitch does not appear in the games at any point.
Just making sure.
Yeah.
Do you doubt my Dawn of War lore knowledge? You
No,
fuck.
I don't fucking doubt it. I was confirming. It was.
It is fine, mate. It's like an
You
inquisitorial
question my
review.
integrity.
Actually, is
Integrity.
I could have sworn. No, that isn't referenced outside the games, is it? I was trying to.
I
I was trying
don't-
to think if Cyrene the planet was mentioned outside of the video games.
No, I don't believe it is because it exists within the Oh wait, hang on.
Because if I recall correctly, it's been referenced. It was referenced back in the Rogue Trader core rulebook, like way back when.
Oh shit, yeah, page 305.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like that. I remember it being referenced there. Obviously,
Hang
Dawn
on,
of
was
War
this-
1. Dawn of War 2
Yeah, I was gonna
mentioned
say-
it, didn't it?
Wait, hang on. Was this after Dawn of War 1 though? Because ever since they made Blood Ravens canon,
Oh,
because
shit.
they initially didn't used to be canon, but then
Oh.
they made them canon, so it might have been later.
Fuck. I'm trying to remember. I
And
thought-
then as a result, Cyrene then became canon.
Fuck. I could have sworn Rogue Trader, like the tabletop was released in the 90s. I might be totally fucking nuts to say that. No.
Oh wait, hang on, wait. The Rogue Trader core rule. Okay, when the fuck did that come out actually? Oh yeah, it says page 305, not edition 305. Sorry, that was my mistake.
Yeah, no, it's fine.
Uh,
Rogue
Mm.
Trader. I'm trying to look up the tabletop, but it keeps trying to send me the video game. Oh, there it is. Rogue Trader role playing game. Published in 2009. So that came out after the video game. Dawn of War. So, yep. I don't have a copy. I have a PDF, admittedly, of Rogue Trader core rulebook. So I remember Cyrene being mentioned in the core rulebook.
Very fucking impressive that you remember that, by the way. Like, kudos to you, Jesus Christ.
Literally, it's just because, like, you said it like multiple times, so it echoed in my brain for a little bit, and it like it opened the file. So it's like, where have I heard that before? Like, oh right, I remember the fucking Rogue Trader book.
Oh yes.
That is like, I do not be impressed by that. That is just a random fluke that my brain was like, oh, here's the file. There it is.
That is impressive brain memory. I still will say that.
Yeah, like, trust me, like that's don't expect that to happen again. Like, that is a one-off of my brain being like, yes, here's the recollection, instead of just a curiosity of like, I've heard it before, eating at me for like an hour. But yeah, I remember being in the core rule book. But yeah, that came out after Dawn of War. So yeah, the references, I guess, unless there's something else that came out about Cyrene, it's just Dawn of War 2, and Rogue Trader, the core rulebook that referenced Cyrene. I think that's it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, like, honestly, Cyrene I'm not sure if it's still around, but it definitely something definitely happened on Cyrene that Gabriel Angelos was responsible for, and I think it goes into detail in the games, but there's not like an actual panel by panel of what happened. Like I'd love to see it animated and to take Gabriel Angelos back to what he was rather than what he is now, which is a front flipping fucking Terminator.
Oh god, don't.
Eh.
Do you remember that fucking like CS Gotto must have creamed his jeans going, see, I told you they can flip.
I'll be right back.
Oh.
Asmo, buddy, you okay?
By the way, if you guys ever get one of these, be careful with them because I keep jamming the slide.
What is it?
Pistol.
Ooh, 1911 or
This is a Black Ops BB gun.
oh.
Yeah, that's what I was asking. Was it a genuine or was it a fake
No,
one?
I wouldn't grab one of my real.
Next to me.
No. I wouldn't. I don't take my real guns out for gags like this. I've seen some like YouTubers and shit who do that, and it pisses me off. Did you guys ever? Actually, that might be a tangent we shouldn't go on right now. I'll ask you that after this. But
Yeah.
there have been some clips where like some streamers have been like dicking around with like a gun, and I've been watching it seething. It's like I have BB guns still because like I do like to do those same gags and stuff. But to do them with a real gun, like there was one guy I saw who did like a negligent discharge.
I've seen it, and he
on-
shot the camera.
Yeah, fucking moron.
Idiot, fucking idiot.
I was screaming at my screen. It's like, you moron. That's why you don't A, you don't have them loaded, but B, you don't play with them at all to begin with. You fucking cunt.
It's like freaking hell. It's not like it's like God.
No, I do these gag. I have a BB gun for gags. I don't pull out a real fucking gun for a gag.
I can kind of
Yeah.
still believe that would happen in like the 40k universe, because you know, like some legions or some chapters like have beef with other chapters, or like they have like very friendly, not so friendly rivalry. I can imagine like they get them up on like the Vox screen and they're communicating, and you've got some, I don't know, like maybe some Dark Angels dickhead who just recently got promoted to a Space Marine from like an initiate. Like maybe they're speaking to a Space Wolves and he's there waving his bolter pistol like ooh yeah, ooh yeah, it went bang and he just shoots the fucking screen. It's just like, what was that? Nothing. Who the fuck gave you a bolt pistol? No one. I found it.
It was over there, I swear.
Yeah, snatches it off him. You want to act like a prick? Get back in the fucking bay.
Oh god. All right, sorry for the tangent.
Yeah.
So, yes.
So
So
you
I
already-
answered my question. As
Yeah,
for
yeah.
you answered yours, Nico, you answered yours, didn't you?
Yeah, I did mine. Asmo began his, and you did.
No, I
before
did
me.
mine. I did
But
mine.
yeah, you did. Yeah.
How dare you not remember Asmos?
Yeah, I said the
Seriously.
Third War of Armageddon, and then from the other side of it, I would just like more comics in general about original stories for 40k.
That would be great. I mean, I would love to see like also like maybe the Siege of Rocks, the comic adapted from the very beginning. I could see that being a series.
That
But,
could be such a fun and long comic series too. Like that could be such a lengthy comic series, especially
Oh,
if you like added new perspectives. But even if you did like the covered ones of Rex, that would be such a fucking project. Like if there is a comic team out there that wanted to do that, you'd have work for the next like 10 years.
Oh, trust me, there is like a few. There's like a couple. Like how I remember
Like
one
I mean, like
time.
professional studios. There are fans obviously who will make comics and stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, no, there are a few studios who do that. I mean, I remember one particular team that did like a crossover thing, and then it was originally meant to be like for 12 issues, but I think they went for like 50 issues. So I'm like, what?
Jesus fucking Christ!
I don't remember what the name of it. It was some X-Men book. Whatever, doesn't matter. but yeah, there's definitely, there are the ones, there are people who are dedicated enough to cover the entirety of rocks, and I would love to see that. I would love to see it.
Mm.
Yeah.
I suppose I'd love to see. Technically, this is not 40k strictly, but I'd love to see a comic series exploring the Unification Wars. Because I don't think we've got a lot of animated media on that. In fact, I don't think we've got any.
Yep. We don't got any.
Technically, the Last Church was animated, but
But I don't think it showed the Unification Wars. Like it showed
no, not the Wars.
the Emperor's exchange with fucking what's his name, hurdy-gurdy priest man.
I still think it would
whatever
have
his
been
name was.
funny as fuck if he'd walked in and go, "You can call me Jehovah." He pretty much said, like, I jokingly say that what he said to people who ask about it who haven't read the Last Church short story. It's like,
Right,
oh, so the Emperor goes in and he calls himself Jehovah. Now, obviously, he calls himself fucking. It's like the Revelation or Revelations.
Apocalypsis.
No, isn't
That was it?
No, doesn't he call himself Revelation?
No, I thought he
Was
called
that the
himself
Emperor?
Apocalypse.
The Emperor calls
Apocalypse.
himself Revelation, doesn't he?
Yeah, the Emperor does.
I thought it was Apocalypsis.
What? No.
I thought.
Where are you getting that?
No, I got that from the Last Church animated.
The
again-
Last Church 40k.
Nico's about to blow my mind if this turns out to be true. Everyone in the comments, roast Nico if he's just made something up.
He might have. I'm pretty sure he has, because I remember him blatantly calling himself Revelations.
I mean, I do remember him calling himself Apocalypsis, but then again,
They explained the name change from Revelation. Apocalypse is Latin for revelation. Really? And apocalypse is what happened. Then again, I am reading Reddit for whether Apocalypse is by type of Portuguese is raising from what the fuck? No, motherfucker might not have made it up, Nico. Blowing minds again.
Yeah.
1 second. I'm determined enough to find this because I am certain that's not what he called himself.
I think The Last Church is fan animated by Tyler Portuguese. And I think in that he calls himself Apocalypsis. I think the fan animation strictly uses Apocalypsis.
It
Because
does.
I can't find it on any other thing apart from the animated version.
I'm just lucky.
Revelation. He was visited by a man who called himself Revelation.
Yeah, he calls himself Revelation in the official text. But in the fan animation, it might be Apocalypsis. Because that's the only mention
I'm
I see
not
of
going
it.
to debate that, but I was debating in the official.
Oh,
No,
official,
like
okay.
yeah, no, official.
Sure.
It's definitely Revelation.
Sure, in the official, I'll agree to that. But in the fan
What do you
animation,
mean you'll agree? It's true.
I was about to say, like, what do you mean you agree? I agree to the facts. Thank you. I'm glad you agree with facts as opposed to disagreeing with facts.
You should feel honored that I agree with your facts, as you call them.
Yeah, Uriah the priest was just chilling in his church, and Emps comes in and says, "You can call me Revelation." Which I still jokingly say, he might as well have just said, "Hey, call me Jehovah."
Jehovah's Witness.
Call me Allah.
Yeah. So yeah,
Where were we? I don't know.
The last thing I mentioned was I'd like to see some official animated work of the Unification Wars, because technically, The Last Church is a fan animated thing that Nico you'd mentioned before, but I'd want to see official artwork of this time and during the actual wars, like what the Emperor was like. what the bandits look like and everything. Like that entire setting is just interesting me because we've never seen a peep out of it. At least as far as I know. Unless anyone in the comments can fucking tell me whether there is actually media about it and I've just missed most of it. Well, animated
Then they
media.
then they'll make the whole book series about it, like the Horus Heresy, and then they'll end it with a really stupid twist. And no,
Oh.
I think you answered your earlier question about like what they do for like other media after the Horus Heresy. Honestly, like I'm kind of mixed about that with them covering the Unification Wars. I mean, fan animations of fan stuff would be amazing, but official media where it starts canonizing things, I won't say it's like as integral to like the setting as like the two lost Primarchs never being explained, but I think a lot of the vagaries with the Unification War are there for. It helps establish the setting and like what the Emperor did to revise history about it or just bury it to begin with. I think that in itself allows the mind to like it's suppose on purpose travel about like what happened in the Unification Wars. I think if they give us more definitives, I think that's kind of robbing the community and us of our imagination of what happened. Because once you like put it in stone, there's no more speculation, and it becomes less fun to talk about. And also, no matter what they put down, it's not going to live up to what we expect, not fully.
Well, then maybe I'd blame the people that have high enough expectations of a comic book series. Like, my bar for this is so fucking low, given what GW have done recently with the law. My bar is so low. Not even an ant could limbo under that motherfucker. Like, it is so low right now. So whatever they put out for the Unification Wars, if it stays, I don't know, 50% true to the law, I'll be fine with it. Oh, look, the Emperor just cut a bandit in half. Neat. I'm gonna buy the next issue.
If I were to do like the storytelling of it, I'd be a dick. I'd be like, all right, so half the comic is gonna be showcasing a bunch of totally rad Thunder Warriors that are totally awesome guys that you really get to know and like. And then like the last few issues, like the audience already knows what happens to them, so it's not like I have to like pull a fucking, like I would just do like the whole like horror movie like build to like the jump scare as it were. It's just like the last like 3 issues, just each one slowly like digging the knife more permanently in the viewer's chest as we all know what happens.
what you're saying? They're all died? No,
Dig-
spoiler.
Wait, hang on. Did you say digging the knife? Was it a small, ugly knife?
What? Oh no!
Asmo.
Oh no!
Oh no.
Only this is real.
Was it a small thing that he jammed into the heart of the 40k fan?
Enough, kill me. Do it, I'm here. Just kill me.
Oh no! Oh no! He's getting the red rage.
No!
Horus is everywhere. Horus.
Oh no! He's acting the law.
Fuck. Oh. Okay. So those are our 3 topics with totally no tangents.
No tangents.
No, definitely not.
So unlike our usual, I can hear myself in the back. Put on some headphones, goddammit.
Nico, if I ever visit you, right, I'm going to as an IT technician by trade, I'm gonna sit down and I'm gonna look at your fucking PC.
I mean,
I'm
you'll definitely
gonna make
be
you
there.
the best Discord setup ever.
You just
Oh,
open
yeah.
the side of the computer and there's like chicken wire everywhere and fucking intertwined rat tails here and there.
I'm gonna find like Nordic runes curved on the side of the motherboard. Blessed by Odin.
It's gonna be a
Oh.
contraption to make the orcs blush and make them wonder how it works.
Red ghost faster.
The computer only works because Nico believes it does.
Oh my god. Okay. So normally this is where we would wrap up, but we now finally have community questions.
Yeah, after you fucking reminded everyone.
I shouldn't have had to after the first episode. Like
Wait,
that,
no, wait, no, like, no, I said after you reminded everyone. I know you initially put out that thing because I spoke to you and said, hey, we should have some community questions in case, and you put out the thing on the Discord, and no one replied. And then the moment you did another question, I was like, oh, yeah, we've got questions.
finally.
Yeah.
Say
Good questions.
they held back for a while on that one.
Oh,
All
damn.
right, so I've grabbed 3, and these are the 3 that we can fit into an end segment. So the first one is from Shadowhawk, a friend of the channel and a friend of the community, a member of the community. He says the Primarchs, fuck, marry, kill.
Okay.
Mary kill.
Fuck Fulgrim, marry Sanguinius, kill Guilliman.
Nathan, you go next.
Fucking, I think Asmogan just took my selection. Because Fulgrim, pretty boy, obviously when he's not in his snake demon form, I can imagine that long. I can imagine he's a lot like, and I feel like a lot more people are going to be a more.
Imagine Fulgrim, it just ends up looking like Finster. The artists were just bad this whole time.
Oh my god, I'd bang that dude so fucking hard if he looked like Finster. Holy shit.
Jesus.
Oh, fuck.
Like Finster, but with white hair. I'd go to town on that. Like Promethean made lubricant. I'd smear that shit on myself and I'd charge at that Primarchs Cheerio sized back passes. Like, oh my god, that would be bliss on it.
Someone's
Anyway,
been dreaming.
For context, for those who have no, especially since it's 40k, and there's a shit ton of older gentlemen who watch 40k stuff. Finster is a live streamer on Twitch, unless he's moved elsewhere, who is a guy who looks like a hot chick. And I don't mean trans. I don't mean like does like the Botox shit. No, the guy naturally with just a little makeup and thigh highs and shit looks like a total chick. I'll put an image on screen for those who need a visual.
To a bunch of like to a bunch of older generation that you've explained it to, they're gonna be like, "Oh, that's kind of gay." Yes, it fucking is.
Yes, it is.
It is totally homosexual. I acknowledge this fact, and given the fact that it is Fulgrim, like I was gonna say a bulkier Griffith from fucking Berserk, but Finster with white hair, I'll happily take that any day. Sanguinius is just a pretty sweet boy that I'd marry. Like he looks at the type of Primarch where if you're having a bad day, he'd text you and it's like, "Hey, are you still having a bad day?" And you say, "Yeah," and he'd come back with food.
Let's be
and he'd
honest.
come
The
back
most
with a movie.
masculine straight man of all time would meet Sanguinius and be like, "Marry me."
Yes.
Here's the ring. You're so much better than any woman I could ever possibly meet. So yeah, I'm sorry I stole it, but that it was just too easy.
No, it's true. Bang on. So yeah, and kill Guilliman. Don't like Guilliman.
Nico,
Sure.
you agree with this, or do you have a different set of fuck, marry, kill?
I mean, I always agree with kill Guilliman. I think I would fuck Sanguinius. You know, just because I
Ooh.
I do I
Who'd
think
you marry? Who'd you marry?
who'd I marry?
I love how like you're asking him like a 5-year-old girl in a fucking playground. Like, hey, who'd you marry? Who'd you marry? Who'd you marry?
Well, it's just because we put Mary Sanguinius, and that feels like the only worthy choice. But now that he's like, "Oh no, I'd fuck Sanguinius," but so now I'm like, all right, and now I'm curious.
You know what? I would marry rogal Dorn.
Ooh,
Someone's
daddy figure.
You're getting
daddy
pegged.
figure. Yeah,
hard.
I'm getting
You are-
old tonight, boy.
you are getting pegged with the thickest ceramite.
It's time for you to hit the wall, and he is the fucking wall.
You are getting pegged against a ceramite wall.
There's gonna be imprint of you against it.
And I'll love it. Jesus.
Oh no! Oh fuck! I could just imagine mid-sex, like Dorn just reaches down to ear and whispers, "Hey, did you hear the story about how I'm missing a hand?"
Actually, anyone want to take any guesses of like who, like Shadowhawk's answer to this question? Fuck, marry, kill.
Fulgrim, easy. Fulgrim is definitely fuck.
I think Shadow would align with you and me, Nathan. I think he'd fuck Fulgrim, marry
Yeah.
Sanguinius. I don't know if he'd kill Guilliman. I don't know who Shadowhawk's like least favorite Primarch. I'd hope he agrees with that certifiable fact. But
Yeah.
let's I'll have to ask him like who his least favorite Primarch is.
Then again, he might marry Angron because he has a bit of a domination fetish. Not to completely out Shadowhawk to fucking everyone listening to the podcast, but you asked this question, buddy.
I'll just put a
if it's
long
domination,
censor, like,
wouldn't it be? Yeah, but wait a minute. If it's domination, wouldn't it be Fulcrum then?
No, it'd be Angron because it's just pure aggressive, like tied down chains.
No. You want domination with like domination curs.
I wouldn't call that domination. Like that'd be fucking terror. That'd be Shadowhawk just hiding in the closet in case Kurz comes home drunk.
He just
which
went
happened
up
to
out
a
of
guy,
Santa
by the
Claus.
way. Like there was a guy that Kurz kept alive on a ship for. Like,
Oh yeah, I know.
a shit ton of
Like just kept like chopping him up and everything.
It was so fucked. Like like if anyone ever says they like Conrad, I'm sorry. Like there's I could get liking like the aesthetic, right? Like he's like evil vampire look, right? But you cannot like the guy. Like after you read that story in particular, I'm sorry. Like there's nothing redeemable about Kurz.
Definitely not as a person, but I do think he's interesting as just this fall and all that.
Yeah, I find him interesting, but like redeemable or likable? No.
Yeah, no.
Like after torturing that fucking poor bastard and keeping him alive, the guy tried to kill himself, and Conrad went, "No, you stay alive,
God.
just so I can like fillet you some more."
Redeemable? No. Like him, I kind of still do because he's funny.
All right, so we've answered.
He's a little quirky boy.
All right, so we've answered fuck, marry, kill. On to the next community question. This comes from Lord of Pink. What franchise do you want to see Warhammer 40k do a crossover with, and why? And I will go make popcorn while Nathan goes off. Pulled the pin. Let's let the grenade go.
Okay. Go first.
Nicho, Nicho, you get yours all the way, Nicho.
Yay. Okay, so not only is there already a collaboration that is going to be coming out tomorrow, by the way, the Power Wash Simulator one. I swear to God, the moment that one comes out, I'm gonna work my way up to the Imperial Knight. I'm just gonna wash all the other ones, and when I get to the Imperial Knight, I'm gonna take my time, and I'm just gonna be like, shh. Rest now, furious machine spirit. I promise, by your next deployment, you'll shine like the Omnissiah. Then, when you get to Ryaken, we'll get to do this over again. How does that sound?
You remind me of fucking Santodis from TDS. Or TTS.
Dude, I'm not kidding. I
feel like this is
oily quivered abs.
I feel like this
Terminator daddies.
I feel like this is a new metric to see how much someone is an ultra fan of 40k. How big of a 40k fan are you? I bought Pressure Washer Simulator just so I could wash up a fucking Imperial Knight and grind on it.
Yes.
It's like beat that in dedication.
He is.
Huh.
It's like I would, yeah. But as to a more serious question, what collab, what franchise? Well, definitely not Call of Duty. Don't get into a tangent, Nathan. Not yet. You tell you what. You want to get into it right after I'm done? Sure.
I was gonna let Asmo go first, but go ahead, pop off, Queen.
Stop trying to light the fucking TNT. Stop trying to light the TNT, you bastard.
Yes. Okay, so as much as I don't like the League of Votan for their aesthetic, because they don't really fit 40k, and also we want squads, I will say it would be interesting to see a League of Votan collaboration with Deep Rock Galactic.
Fucking preach it. They could easily make those little I fuck what were the bugs called? Shit.
Well, let's be honest. Leagues of Votan are the fucking dwarves from Deep Rock Galactic.
They ripped off so much shit.
Yeah.
And the Glyphids. Yeah, they could easily turn the Glyphids into Nids.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that would be great. I love to see that. Asmo, what about you?
What franchise do I want to see a 40k crossover with? I mean, it's been done jokingly on YouTube before, I think, but Star Trek maybe. Because talk
Star
about
Trek.
yeah, talk about such like for me, it's the comedy value. Like it's like think of such opposing fucking concepts. Because Star Trek is like the most optimistic humanist view. I could hear myself echoing. Nico, put on your goddamn headphones.
Hang on. Let me try and find these things. Where are they? They're in the background. Tell you what, in the meantime, I'll just mute myself. You continue, my boy.
But yeah, I would say doing like a crossover with Star Trek, although modern Trek sucks. So I guess I'm like retrospectively, like it would have been cool if like Deep Space Nine had like a crossover episode where some Imperial guards showed up and things were got fucked. But
Yeah.
I guess like what could they actually do right now for a crossover? Shit.
I was thinking you could do a crossover with like Stargate, and like they go through a Stargate and they end up in fucking Commodore for one episode.
Right. The same issue with like Star Trek though is like there's no new Stargate stuff. So it's like that's like a retrospective. Like what now could they do a crossover with? And that's what I'm struggling with. I mean, you already said Deep Rock, and I'd agree with that for sure. I mean, I didn't expect Pressure Washer to get fucking a 40k crossover, but okay. I don't know. Maybe Helldivers, kind of like maybe there's like a DLC day or maybe like for Halloween, like the Terminids just literally get a reskin to Tyranids. Like just do that for like a Halloween event, and then all the Helldivers get to put on like Space Marine outfits or some shit.
Yeah, I found out the name for Terminids like today, and I was like, that's very, very close.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like Helldivers wears its inspirations and or influences right on its shoulders. I will say this: I like it more than I like it in that regard more than 40k because 40k, like I'll say GW more so than 40k as a universe. Tries to pretend it didn't rip off a bunch of other shit and is trying to resell it back to you. Oh no, it absolutely did. But like GW pretend they don't, and they showcase they pretend they don't because they actually try and copyright the shit, right? But Helldivers, it's like no, we're Starship Troopers, but we legally had to use a different name. But in the game, like there is armor called Hero of the Federation. It's like, come on, like it wears its inspirations on its fucking shoulders. So
Yeah.
like I respect that. I like it when a franchise is just like, yeah, we took this shit. We did absolutely. So it would be cool if they just did like a crossover event where the Terminids literally got a reskin to look exactly like Tyranids, and the bots got a reskin to look like Necrons. That'd be cool.
That'd be kick-ass.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Yeah, that's the only like modern thing I could think of. All right, so Nathan, time for you to go off.
Oh my fucking. So when I initially saw this question, right? Yeah, when I initially saw this question, I was just getting a bunch of flashbacks of everything I've seen 40k do a crossover with. Now, Pressure Washer doesn't kind of bother me because I believe in the game Pressure Washer, the actual developers are fans of 40k because they have left a bunch of Easter eggs to 40k in the base game. Like I think I was watching Markiplier play it, and there's a bunch of like chaos symbols in like a skate park, which I thought was fucking neat. So I don't mind that. What I absolutely fucking hate is the current sort of culture with crossovers. Because I think it's too much. I think crossovers are kind of losing their effect, like the punch that you get. Because how many things of 40k 40k? It went from like a niche sort of tabletop that nerds knew about to the point where, I mean, it's in Magic the Gathering. which is also for nerds, so I can kind of believe that one, but it's still a
Mm.
fantastical setting. But
Mhm.
Magic the Gathering, whatever. Then it did one with, I believe, World of Tanks. I think it did one with World of Tanks. 40k World of Tanks. I swear to God, it did. Yeah. It did a collaboration with World of Tanks, and then it did a collaboration with I think it's War Thunder. I think Arch did. Wait, fuck knows. Shit. What was the game? It's Navy based. World of Warships.
Yep. That.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they did.
Like I said, Arch did a sponsorship with them. Yeah, World of Warships. 40k has also done a collaboration with, I believe now, well, not I believe, sorry, but as confirmed, Call of Duty. Call of Duty. When the fuck are GW gonna realize that normalizing a niche fucking hobby is just gonna ruin it? Why the fuck did you team up with one of the most normie game communities and just normie game fucking franchises in general? 40k does not belong in Call of Duty, especially with the way that Call of Duty is going nowadays. It's just turned into absolute goy slop. Like the fact that Warzone releases and every fucking normie out there just like downloads it and just eats it up and just plays it every single weekend. And then they're always complaining, saying, "Oh, well, this game's shit. Oh, I don't know why it's so bad." And then they continue to fucking play it. Like, it's such an absolute cooked fan base. And they're like, "Oh no, but we'll have crossovers." Like, when Nicho, when you think of Call of Duty, what do you think of?
I think of modern day military mostly.
Yeah, okay. And what would you expect to do in that game? Like, who would you expect to play?
Basically, I don't know, the British or Americans, Russians, or stuff like that. Nothing from 40k.
No, no. So but when you play Call of Duty, you play special operatives, right? And dangerous
Right, yeah.
missions. Espionage.
Mm-hmm.
Assassinations. What COD kind of was around the Black Ops era, and even before
yeah.
that, when you had the World War era, where you were fighting on the trenches.
Oh, that would be
Call of Duty's got fucking Nicki Minaj in it.
Yeah, I saw that.
It's got Alucard. It's got Nicki Minaj. I know it's got the fucking 40k Space Marines.
I still stand by Alucard was such a fucking out of left field one for me. Like,
That is.
Like, Nicki Minaj makes more sense to me for its arrival in Call of Duty than Alucard. Because at least Nicki Minaj is like, oh, it's famous pop star, a bunch of fucking normie shit. Like these,
You've got fucking Snoop Dogg in the bastard game as well.
Yeah, like that shit makes sense to me. Like that doesn't feel as out of left. Alucard, I was like, what the fuck?
It's like, why?
Is that what like?
It's like
if you ever asked me if they were gonna add in like characters and or people into the game that are like from pop culture, that would go for 40k. Alucard from the Hellsing Ultimate anime would not have been on my top 800.
Dude, you know who would make more sense? Revi from Black Lagoon. She would make more sense in Call of Duty because she absolutely goes ballistic and just like fires people, shoots them, and all that kind of stuff. The bad bitch energy. That would work perfectly for Call of Duty.
And she's a merc.
Alucard. Yeah, Alucard. Why?
It was such an out of left field addition that it's still to this day I'm like, who at like Activision was just like smoking the strongest dope imaginable was like, we should add this to like Call of Duty, man. Like they'll get a kick out of it.
Right, because 40k is grimdark. It's gritty. Like the setting is just absolutely seeped in death and gore and hopelessness, and with maybe exception from Blood Shooter's teeth. Fuck, what was that game?
Blood
Shoot
shooters,
us blood and teeth.
shooters, blood
Uh,
and teeth. Yeah.
She's okay. Yeah, sorry, got it mixed wrong way around. But apart from that, which is satirical orc shit, which makes the most sense, 40k is supposed to be like a serious, like sci-fi series you're supposed to get lost in and be thankful that you don't live in that setting. But the fact that you're gonna have like Black Noir from The Boys running behind a fucking Blood Angel, executing him or teabagging him with like a weed smoking Grim Reaper calling card. Oh my fucking god, it's the dumbest crossover. Like, this is
what?
Call of Duty, it's not fucking Fortnite. And
Yeah.
and that's what I mean with current crossover culture. It's just games like Fortnite, okay, I get it, because it's specifically designed for crossovers now. Like, it's pretty much 90% of its skins. But the way crossovers are just spoke about nowadays is the fact that you can add anything to anything and people will just eat it up. Like, they won't even take the setting into like consideration. And now 40k is one of them. Well, I mean, 40k was always kind of one of them, to be fair. Because, like I said, we've had previous examples of them just adding 40k into shit, where 40k does not need to fucking be. So, in terms of what do I want to see 40k crossed over into? Fucking nothing. Just leave 40k as is. I don't want I don't want Caiaphas Kane popping up in Fortnite, you know, being able to do the orange justice while they start smacking Master Chief with like a fucking chainsaw. Just leave it alone. Leave 40k alone. Leave it as it is. It's already diddled enough by enough fucking bastards on every side. We don't need like normies coming into the hobby. Oh, there's Caiaphas Kane from fucking Fortnite. There's Slime Arbo from Warsaw. Leave my franchise alone.
Just let it be.
It's funny as this is like twice as tame as the is the conversation Nathan and I had about this the other day.
I mean, yeah, because like I'm trying to focus on the question itself. But crossover culture kind of needs to tame it back a bit because it's losing its punch. The rant that I had about you was just about Call of Duty plays,
Yeah,
and just like Asmo spoke about Ultramarine people, if there's any fucking COD people, I do not care what your opinions are. You are normies. You play the most generic shooter trash known on the fucking market.
And you always buy the
Opinion
sequel.
invalid, and you always buy the fucking sequels. Exactly. You complain about the goy slop, but you still buy the goy slop. So don't come to me when your goy slop still keeps getting fed to you like pigs at a fucking trough. Keep buying COD, little pay piggies. You'll keep getting ripped off.
like as Nathan rants about this, I just hear in the background the music from Red Alert 3 from the Soviets start to kick up. Dun, 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 dun. Hold on, boy. Dun, 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 dun. You see the marching of the troops as like people rally.
Yeah, just the iconic chant from the Hell March song, like Hila, where Lu, Nathan committing fucking war against all normie gamers.
Yes. I mean, I don't really want 40k to be in the mainstream. I'm fine with it succeeding. I don't want it to go mainstream.
Yeah, see, if it got like the more mainstream it goes, which it is becoming slightly more mainstream, the harder the gate will be. The harder the gate will be in order to keep it, and we are keeping the gate, but I do not want it to devolve, because the moment like fucking no, like Lotara Sin, is that her name?
Lotara
From
Saren?
the
Lotara
Saren,
Saren?
sorry. Yeah, Lotara Saren. The moment she pops up with pink hair and fucking, I don't know, like a pansexual badge on a uniform, I think is the moment that 40k is just lost at that point.
Don't give them ideas.
Exactly. So
Mhm.
do not put it in the mainstream. Don't cross it over with a bunch of series for publicity. Keep it niche. Like I explained with Dawn of War 4, you have a dedicated fan base. Cater and please that dedicated fan base, and this series will go on ad fucking nauseum. Go forever.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's a question. Fuck crossover culture. Sick of it.
Okay. Yeah.
Eh.
Yeah,
Alright.
Angie.
Gavel's been
Yeah.
dropped. I mean, we got no follow up for that, so
I dropped my very heavy watch.
I salute you, sir, for the mic drop.
I salute.
And I have no follow up for that. Urus Osium is our last question, then we'll wrap up. Urus Osium, Urus of our community, a longtime friend and community member, and future brother-in-law to Nathan, says, if you could choose one weapon from 40k to bring to the real world, which one would you pick?
Isn't it obvious?
I mean, mine might not
probably
be.
not for yeah, mine may not be either.
The bolt gun.
Such a vanilla response.
Okay.
Right, you see, right,
Oh.
I would agree with the bolt gun if there wasn't one problem.
Hmm.
Ammunition manufacturing.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Although,
'Cause-
that being said,
'cause,
that'll
like,
be a
what-
problem with any of our choices.
And probably, maybe not mine.
Maybe not.
Wait a minute. What was it called? I can
'Cause-
maybe go a little less vanilla. Let me see.
Because if you get the bolt gun, you already have the chassis and the actual acquired item of the bolt gun. You just need the ammunition. But
To
the
be fair-
ammunition, once it's replenished,
To be fair, with the premise of the question, I will throw in the qualifier. Whatever weapon we choose can be maintained and or fueled.
oh yeah, it can be. It's just it's a pain in the ass.
No,
to
but like
use.
for the concept of the question is like, oh, if we added this thing, like to take that out of the complexity of the question,
Wow.
because then we're gonna get very autistic with like, okay,
I want autism. I want complexity. What the fuck do you mean? Like, because then we get autism. Do you realize
I want
three
problems.
people on this podcast?
I don't want peace. I want problems always.
I don't want peace. I want problems always.
Oh yeah.
Motherfucking like Nigerian Shao Kahn over there.
Oh my god. Though I'll change my answer to this. Maybe the Storm Bolter. I think that would be interesting.
Oh, you went from bolter to storm bolter. So you went to a double barrel bolter.
Yeah.
Hey girl, I heard you like my bolter, so put my bolter in your bolter.
Yeah.
Good God.
Yeah, at least it's an upgrade.
All right,
true.
my answer might be cheating, but I think it's a very good choice. The Earthshaker platforms.
Oh, you fucking, you're like you're taking an entire goddamn turret.
I know, that's why I say I think
Oh.
it's cheating. Like obviously, if if you guys say no, you have to use like a weapon, not like a large scale like cannon. But if I'm allowed it, I'll say the Earthshaker platform. Because who would not want to fire that thing? You would not be able to hear or feel your legs or any of your limbs for months. But fucking A, man. Just to witness that thing fire off a round or two. And then those
Yeah.
rounds land. Oh, that...
Oh.
that would be fucking rad, dude. But if
Yeah.
I'm not allowed a vehicle. If I'm not allowed a vehicle and I have to go small scale... probably the multi-melta. And
So,
who would,
Nathan-
Why?
who would not want to witness the enemies get incinerated?
Well, I mean, to be fair, you could do that with a lot of current weaponry.
True, but the multi-melta is like a classic that does that, right? Like it's a very popular loadout choice for Space Marines, and there's so much like examples of its usage in the lore that I have such a good visual of what it can do. So I'd say the multi-melta. And for melee
do you
weapon,
think?
I'll throw in a third one. Melee weapon, chain axe.
Obvious choice and a good one.
Because to be fair, I thought like you'd want range with it as well. Like I thought you'd go for a Volkite weapon.
Really? Volkite? I mean, Volkites are cool, but I don't know, like.
Volkite melt shit,
Yeah, they do.
and it's got range.
Yeah. Don't get me wrong, those are cool too. I don't know. The multi-melta it's a classic.
Oh, okay. You're going for the nostalgia there, Grandpa.
I am, yeah. Call me grandpa. A multi-melta it's just this big twin barrel fucking fuck off gun, and it's so cool. It is really fucking cool.
Alright, true.
So Nathan, what weapon would you bring?
Okay, I'll do a ranged and I'll do a melee one. Since how Asmo added the parameters of you can keep and maintain them with relevant ease.
Yeah.
So I would pick a Stalker Bolter.
Good choice.
Because
Yeah.
not only would you have the range to basically JFK anybody within like a 10 within like a 2-mile radius, but also you'd have the shells of a Red Bull can sized explosive hurtling, like the size of a human head, hurtling towards them. So not only could you just pull a Lee Harvey Oswald against an entire group of people you don't like,
The verbs were
but you'd
pulling
probably
on this.
but you'd probably punch through the lungs. You'd probably punch through the tree behind them, and I don't know, kill the neighbor's cat or some shit in the same breath, the same singular shot.
Oh my god. What the fuck? Sorry about that.
And I used it quite a lot in Space Marine, and I do like the idea of like a sniper bolter. Like it just seems really cool.
It is.
Actually,
isn't the Vindicare Assassin sniper a stalker bolter or an equivalent? I can't remember.
Vindicator? Vindicator.
Vindicator, mon ami.
Assassin.
Ah, mon ami.
I don't think it is. At least not according to Space Marine, because Space Marine, it was like a bolter, but with like a scope on it.
No, it looks like a las weapon.
I thought. Wait, hang on. I thought it fired rounds though.
It does.
Like
It does.
singular rounds.
Like we know it fires a projectile because one of the examples we have is the Vrax situation, where the Inquisitions, or the Ecclesiarchy, I should say, sent a Vindicare to assassinate. What's his face?
Orc War Boss. What's his face?
I don't.
That actually fits as well.
I remember the name of the guy. The priest that went rogue. Yeah, well, you know from like that story that it was a projectile that was fired from it. So visually, it looks like a las weapon, though.
Oh yeah, visually it does. I just wasn't sure if it was.
Yeah, I can't. I don't know. I wasn't sure, but just based purely on the pictures, it looks like it might be a las weapon.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm pretty sure it is. The lore-wise, it's a projectile weapon. What weapon is a Vindicare?
Oh yeah, so I'll answer in the meantime while Asmo's looking that up.
Yeah.
So for ranged, it would be a Stalker Bolter due to the sheer power and the range of that bitch. But for melee, I'd pick a power sword.
They use an Exodus rifle.
Oh, okay. A fucking well actually moment. I've never heard of an Exodus rifle.
Sorry for the Vindicare Assassin. Vindicare Assassins use the Exodus rifle. It's a specialized projectile rifle used exclusively by the assassins. It's purpose-built for each individual Vindicare sniper. The weapon is outfitted with a variety of micro sensors that are capable of detecting even slight changes in ambient temperature, humidity, gravity, and air pressure, intended to aid the assassin in effective targeting his victim at long ranges. X's weapons are always manufactured as a matched set, including a pistol and sniper rifle for an individual Vindicare assassin, and the weapons utilize high-powered kinetic rounds with armor-piercing tips for general-purpose executions.
Mm.
The more you know.
Hmm.
But yeah, I'd pick I'd pick a power sword.
I think power
Guess
swords
what?
Because a power sword can just cut through anything. At least most things.
Oh yeah.
In fact, I'm pretty sure if we could bring it into our reality on this Earth, it could literally cut through anything. Because there's nothing on Earth that would even come close to stopping it.
I mean, the thing is, even like the weakest weapon, like the Imperium has, like the las gun or las pistol, like that shit would like pierce through fucking flak armor
I
and shit
do
in the
think
modern
though.
day. Even that shit would be like fucking like they never jam either. So those types of weapons, if those were brought into like our world, like shit would go down if that happened.
Yeah, but I kind of feel like they would make like a smaller variety because a lot of combat nowadays is ranged. So, yeah. I mean, unless people got into a bonsai charge, which is very unusual, then
Tell that to the
Yeah.
Japanese in World War II. Oh, very unusual. Happens every fucking front.
yeah, but like
that's what I was gonna say. That's why I picked one for range and melee because Stalker Bolter, it's a lot more powerful than pretty much any infantry standard las gun. But for melee, I've always loved the aesthetic of the power sword, just pure lightning and energy running through a blade that can just cut anything it comes into contact with. Like you'd scare the shit out of anybody. Just like walking alone at night, like someone tries to walk up to you, frisk you for all your money, and all of a sudden your sword just lights up blue like fucking Virgil from Devil May Cry.
You know what that conjures for an image for me? Like my Mimi brain. So you remember that old meme where it's like, if she breathes, she's a thought, or no?
Oh yeah,
all women are queens or some shit. Imagine that, but like instead of the lightsaber, the red lightsaber, dude, it's a fucking power sword. So it's like a blue lightsaber versus power sword. If she breathes, she's a thought, and he pulls out a power sword and runs out.
Oh, actually, since you mentioned melee weapons, this one's obvious for me because Hingy Dingy Durkin, thunder hammers. I'd love to have them in real life.
yeah. There's only one problem with that, Nico.
Mm.
Are you built and like because obviously Asmo added the caveat of we can maintain and we can keep our weapons nice and replenished. But can you wield that fucking thing?
I mean, that's why I enter the gym for. So,
Goddamn, he's building for that Thunderhammer build out.
in that strongman physique, yeah.
And I could believe like half Thor Bjornsson, I think is his name. That guy. I believe fully that guy could use a thunder hammer.
Yeah.
Anyone smaller than him.
It's actually funny. I imagined him being like a space wolf at one point, and it was just I kind of pictured a scene like Tyranid jumping in the air, and him
how
like
tall,
with a
how
jump
tall
pack.
Is that guy? He was 7 foot.
How
Like
tall is that?
5.
He's 6'9".
Really? I thought he was over 7 feet.
He's 6'9", but the thing is, like, you see just the height. God damn, it's just like wow, he's tall. Also, he has to be in like a big car all the time, which I kind of imagine would be similar to Space Marines. But oh my god, imagine like a clown car, but it's just like a Space Marine tries to get out.
Just 3 inches taller, and he'd be like the average height Space Marine, like 7 foot.
He is 6'9".
Yeah, he's just
Good
short.
Lord.
And it's freaky to think about, but keep in mind he is like shorter than what a Space Marine is on average. That's what's freaky though. Like I've seen you look this guy up, you see normal heighted people next to him, they just look so small.
He has the physique of, I can imagine, a Katachan fighter. Like, you know, the really goofy motherfucker that they always get to carry around like the heavy bolter, or
Oh, yeah.
or like the regular size bolter. That's him.
Oh, if Henry Cavill does do like a Katashan show, hire half Thor.
Yeah.
Yes.
Not even as a space marine, just
Yes.
bring him in as a human, and then obviously using perspective camera work or the CGI and stuff. Put him next to the people who are being the Primarchs and shit, and make him short. It would just be a fun little Easter egg if he goes, huh? So this is what it feels like to be shorter. Just have everyone like who's a fan of him in real life, like the actor / the man himself, be like, that's fun. That's fun. That'd be great.
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, we answered those fun questions in spades. Again, if you would like to throw some Q&A questions out at us, folks, feel free to do so in the YouTube comment section of this podcast episode or any future ones going forward, even previous ones. We'd love to see what you guys have for questions for us. If you're on the Discord, of course, we have a section on the Discord for community questions as well. And yeah, also fan art. Feel free to share that on Instagram, Twitter, anywhere. Just at me. I'm over on Instagram at Helsing Asmogan over on Instagram, and I am Astartes Asmogan or DRK at DRK Asmogan on Twitter. Feel free to check those out and at me. I don't know if Nicho or Nathan are on either platform.
No, I quit Twitter.
Stay away from those fucking cess. I've never had a Twitter account. That's cesspool.
Yeah, I have bad experience with Twitter, so.
All right, so I'm the only one with balls enough to be on those platforms. So
oh fuck off, fuck right off.
I'm kidding. I'm the only one who's masochistic enough to be on those. So yeah, feel free to at me, at me, and I will obviously pass along to our group here. For any fan art you guys might want to do, we'd love to see anything you guys come up with, even if it's like fucking doodles. You know, not like any of us are like high-end artists. One of us is marrying one, but you know, outside of that.
Whoa, don't be too hasty, mister. Anyway,
I can hope.
Anyway, Nicho was an up-and-coming budding artist, I hear.
Yes, indeed.
I mean, I'm thinking about learning to become an artist, so.
Learning is a step to becoming, and becoming is a goal that you shall achieve.
Oh, by the way, so I think if we get asked enough questions, like if we get like a shit ton of questions, I think we can dedicate an episode to entire community questions.
Oh yeah, like the community question episode.
Oh yeah.
It'd be funny if we threw in some really awkward ones in there.
Oh yeah. So just to preface, the questions, as long as it's within 40k, you can pretty much ask anything you want. Or if it's anything to do with us three, just know what our mother's maiden names are and like.
What's your social security number?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah. What was our childhood nickname?
Dude, I imagine some of them would really be funny. Like, I imagine one would ask, like, "Okay, Asmo, can you please compliment something about Rebooty Guilliman?"
No.
He was he. I was just about to say, like, please compliment one thing about Rebooty Guilliman, like, oh, he was a loyalist. But thinking about what happened at the Siege of Terror, I don't think he was a loyalist.
If someone was threatening me with a fucking gun pointed at my left nutsack and said, "If you don't compliment Guilliman in the next 5 seconds, I will shoot off your left nutsack," I said I would look them in the eye and say, "Shoot them, shoot both of them off." And I will say this about Guilliman: he is a fuckwad peg artist.
Sorry. Did you say your left nutsack? Don't you just mean your left nut? A nutsack is both of them. If you say, do you have more than one pairs of testicles?
Yes, I do. I have 3 sets. Each one is more titanium built than half the population of men on this planet. Thank you very much.
Twice the balls, twice the testosterone, baby.
Yes.
Twice. All right.
So yeah, like that's no. I feel free to drop questions like that, but my answer is no. I will not compliment Guilliman. If you pay me, maybe, but it'd have to be a high number, like more than $100.
You whore. You whore.
Everyone has a prize.
God damn.
Trust me though, if you paid me $100, I'd be like, his hair is there. That's the best you
Has
get.
hair.
That's the best you're getting from me. If you pay me $1 million, that's the most I got. I'm sorry. Anyway, yeah, feel free to drop us questions. We'd love to see them and read them off. And yeah, Nathan's right. If we get enough all packed up at one, we'll make a whole episode out of it. It'd be fun. But anyway, that's it for it, folks. Make sure to like, subscribe, all that fun stuff. My name has been Asmogan, and these have been my co-hosts.
Nathan X2000.
Nico 40K.
And we will see you, wonderful people, next time. Bye-bye.
Fuck Guilliman.
Up the ass with a razor-studded dildo.
Cock and draw him fucking pegging your asses deep inside your anal cavity. Go fuck yourself when you try and leave a comment. Well, actually, that's not how it went. That's just totally untrue. That's not how it happened in the lore. Go fuck yourself. I've read this lore. I've gone through this a dozen times. The lore backs me up on this, you cunt bags. Go fuck yourself. It did happen. Your revisionism doesn't work with me. Suck a dick.